made as a reference to locate any flaws. Then review them at the Royal Laboratory.
Right then. Good idea.
That'll be no small task, mind you. This is a big place.
Oh, problem, sir.
What's the matter?
I just remembered. I'm empty. I'm running on fumes.
Speak straight, boy. What are you, hungry? Alicia left some extra food by the stairs. That should tide you over.
No, that's not what I meant. It's not me who needs nourishment. It's the jet. I knew we were in a hurry, so I wanted to minimize our excess weight. Not to mention, she can only carry so much weight when she has an extra passenger.
No fuel? That is a problem. So it goes. We might have gotten here in style, but we'll have to get back the old-fashioned way with the others.
Guess so.
On the bright side, we can use that extra time to consider the problem of the diminishing warp particles.
True. I'm hesitant to be overly optimistic here, but with Babel debunked again, do you think the problem might solve itself?
I hope so. If the warp particle count drops too much further, it won't just be life that suffers. The very structure of Endora could collapse.
There's not too much to see with those measurements. We took them back when concentrations were still normal. I'm missing something, aren't I?
Perhaps. I can't help but notice that the particle count was perfectly normal right up until King Delzine took the throne.
Whoa, that's right. Are the dwindling particles and the King's rise related? Although it's possible that this could be a mere coincidence. No way. Correlation might not show causation, but I refuse to
Only
believe
one
that
man
it's
understands the
actually
events surrounding
countless
Delzine's
vibrations from
crowning.
fish swimming have been shown to
Delzine
be
himself.
explosive.
And now, I'll never get the chance to ask what he was after.
I don't think anyone could have predicted how this went.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a proper mess.
How so? Our goal's achieved. The revolution can end now.
That isn't true.
Felix is right. It's true that the king's reign has ended, but I wouldn't really call this a victory. See, we were trying for a bloodless coup for more reasons than one. Anyway, I was never much for thinking on an empty stomach. Let's eat.
I feel compelled to tell you that we're at the bottom of the barrel in terms of rations.
It's what we've got. You too. Let's go. You don't have to live like this anymore. There is another way, and I would like to help you find it, if you let me.
Emilio? Think fast. Couldn't help but notice you missed breakfast and lunch. At least apples haven't changed. This is the first food I've had that tastes the same as on the surface. Everything else on Endor tastes like it's gone half bad. It takes everything I've got to choke it down. But I guess I'm getting used to it.
You'll have to. Your way home is gone now. I've broken my promise to get you back.
Maybe so, but if we're being fair, then I broke my promise too. Listen, I can't do it.
Do what?
I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna help you kill the king.
You know, I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say. You get cold feet?
That's not it.
Then why back out?
I agree with Demetrio. You need to talk to him first. Come on, Emilio.
Leave me alone. You don't understand me at all.
Emilio.
You're right, I don't. I haven't been through half as much as you have. But I know that revenge isn't the right choice. No matter how bad you want it. Don't do this!
Let go!
You guys! Come back! Are you okay?
Yeah, thanks. But we have to stop Emilio.
You're finished. No, Emilio, whether you understand it or not, there's still something left that I have to do. I don't care.
Quit! That's enough!
Move! You're in my way!
I'm helping you.
What?
I'm here to help you get answers. Blind revenge like this will only hurt you in the end.
That you did. And you shouldn't be rewarded for breaking your word, so perhaps it's for the best.
Hey, don't give me that attitude. You know it wasn't like that. I didn't understand what you were asking me to do back then, all right? At first you said we'd just bring him down.
Are you ready to shut up and listen?
You ready to stop being an ass?
We need to get out of here.
Why do we have to leave?
You want to get back to your home, don't you?
Yeah?
Well then, I'm going to need your help.
My help with what?
Bringing down King Delzine once and for all.
Huh? Bringing down a king? Find somebody else to help you. I'm sure not gonna do it. No way.
I thought that you wanted to go home.
Of course I do. I'll bet that I can find a way to get there without overthrowing a monarch.
Delzine is likely on his way to Babylon right now. If he gets there before us, you might never be able to go back to the surface. But if we defeat him, you'll get to see your mother again.
You didn't start me out at kill, or mention that he was your dad. It wasn't a fair deal.
Yeah, I didn't tell you much. Delzine had to go. What more was there to say? Back when we first met, revenge was all I ever thought about. Other people were reduced to either tools or obstacles. Ever since I was a child. That's all that my life was.
It hurts when he speaks of the new king. He doesn't know the man was his father's enemy, so the poor boy adores him.
Isn't it terrible? He's just so innocent and trusting. It's almost too painful to watch.
I don't understand. What do they mean?
It's almost time. Soon I will end your traitorous life with my own hands. My father's enemy.
Emilio. Not afraid of me. Only a coward attacks somebody in their sleep.
Who are you to talk? What right do you, of all people, have to call me coward?
So angry. Avenging the former king, your father. Useless sentimentality. You should have led a coup and tried to seize the throne. That would have been a good way to die.
I wasn't the one to do it. But Delzine is dead all the same. One way or another, the goal I set out with has been achieved, so why am I not satisfied? Instead, I feel empty. It wasn't supposed to be like that. It was all wrong.
Foolish friends! Well, time to say goodbye. You're in the way.
Father, no!
You've become so strong. I'm proud of you.
I'm starting to think I might have been wrong about my father this whole time.
What do you mean?
You remember when we were holed up on that mountain during the blizzard? And I told you about how I used to idolize the king before I knew what he was, what he had done to my father.
Yeah?
After we had that conversation, I spent a long time trying to remember my real father, but I came up with nothing. No trace.
What are you saying?
When we first encountered Delzine, he gave me this look. There was something nostalgic about it.
Not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, you used to idolize him.
I know it might mean nothing, but now, if I had it all wrong, there'll be no way of telling. It could be like Pascal said, for all I know. When Pascal first found out what I'd done, that I tried to kill Delzine, we argued. He didn't understand it. He asked me, was it really Delzine who killed the former king? He asked how I could know that for a fact. The only thing I had was a rumor. He maintained that this was insufficient proof. Nothing more than hearsay. Pascal only said that to help me. Alicia said the same things for the same reason. Even Demetrio tried. I should have known. I should have listened to them. But the only thing I could think about was my precious revenge. I was so stupid.
I wonder where those two ran off to this time. I don't think we need to worry about them too much, though. As long as they're together, they'll be fine. They make a surprisingly good team.
I should have listened to you as well,
Wait, when?
when you tried to change my mind. You said that I should talk to Delzine and find out what really happened.
Yeah, I agreed with the others.
And you also said that no matter how badly I might yearn for it, revenge would never be the correct choice. Said that twice.
So then you really weren't asleep that one night.
No. I heard every last word, but I didn't listen. And now I've paid the price.
Cut it out. Stop acting pathetic.
But I am. You're totally right, Shun. I am pathetic.
Oh, come on. Don't agree with me. Have some friggin' pride. You're supposed to say something about how stupid I am. It's what you do, man.
Huh?
Do you remember that fight we got into back at the Ignatz camp? We had just joined up, but you didn't think I should trust him. It ended up coming to blows.
Yeah, I recall it. You should learn to be a skeptic before you get yourself hurt. No one shares their true intentions unless they get found out.
But if you're always paranoid, you can't trust anyone. That's no way to live, man.
You have no right to tell me how to live my life!
What the hell, dude? You're even meaner than usual. I get it. You're lashing out because you're gonna be lonely once I go back to the surface.
Don't make me laugh. It'll be a load off my shoulders once I'm rid of you. Of course, that's assuming you can actually make it back.
You've got a real crummy way of showing gratitude. I can't believe I decided to help you.
So leave, see if I care. Oh wait, you need my help so you can run back to the surface and cry to your mommy.
You are so mind-blowingly full of yourself. You think I need you? I saved your damn life. You wonder why you don't have many friends? Because no one wants to help a smug, condescending jerk. You're like Demetrio, but on opposite day.
What do you know about me?
Why would I want to know anything about a monster who tries to kill his own father?
You bastard!
What? Let's go then. Time. I was honestly a little scared by you right then. Didn't think that one comment had set you off so bad.
Don't try to play it down now. I seem to have a specific recollection of you dubbing me a monster.
You know, I don't think I've ever gotten along worse with someone in my entire life.
Nor have I.
And yet the day after that fight, you saved me.
Sure, but I didn't do it for your sake. For reasons unknown, I had it stuck in my head that you might prove useful somehow.
Yeah, whatever you say. I'm just glad that you showed up when you did.
So, why aren't you with the prince?
I hate that guy.
You know you're a smug little punk, but I actually like that about you.
Damn it. What am I doing? It's not like I give a damn what happens to him.
He's too strong. No way I'm gonna survive this.
Would he come running to help me?
Couldn't have been anyone else?
Shut up!
Get out of here! I don't want your help!
Stand up and fight! Don't just sit there!
Quit bossing me around! I'm sick of it!
Let's deal with him first and then fight!
Okay, fine. You're gonna have to get past me first!
Oh, yeah? Good, I don't care what order I kill you in.
June!
What? Did his orb relic really just evolve?
That was some scary stuff. I thought I was dead for sure. That guy was crazy strong.
I've been wanting to ask you, how is it that you can fight so well when you're from the surface?
Wait, what's that supposed to mean? For all you know, we're all great warriors.
Are you?
Oh no, definitely not. Where I'm from, most people have never had to fight in their whole lives.
Were you some kind of exception to that?
Yep. Nah, if you get into too many fights, you'll end up being arrested. I mean, look, we still have wars and soldiers up there, but it was never something that I had to deal with. That stuff was always really distant, you know?
I think? Well, no. Honestly, I can't imagine that.
You want to see it?
No, not really. But I would like to know why Delza wanted to see it. If only we had spoken more. So, what'll you do now?
The same as ever. This one leads a bus, but I'm not giving up. There's at least one other way down from the surface. Could be more to get back up. Besides, I'm starting to work up a taste for adventure, meeting odd people and whatnot. Once I get back to the surface, I'm gonna write a pretty sick novel.
Shun, you know you...
Amelia! Shun! We looked all over!
Hey, Pascal, this might sound strange, but I'm seeing no problems.
Yeah, same thing over here. As far as I can tell, Babel operated exactly as it was intended to. But from Shun's description of the Zuzian screams, I highly doubt he made it to the surface. Well, if everything is working fine on our end, then we have to assume that the problem is on theirs.
I see. You mean on the surface? Any theories as to what exactly could have gone wrong up there?
There's no way to be sure without seeing for myself, but if the simplest theory is typically the right one, then the path was probably clogged somehow.
We just keep running into conundrum after conundrum. But that's exactly what makes scientific research worthwhile.
It's starting to feel like we have two Pascals.
Hey there, Alicia.
I figured you two might need a break, so I brought you a little food.
Appreciate it. Don't mind if I do.
Come on, Joseph. Aren't you hungry?
Each question leads us to an answer that'll take us one step further down the path of truth.
He still hasn't noticed. Wait a second. If the path up to the surface is blocked, then shouldn't you be happy? I mean, you never wanted contact with the surface. You thought it would be dangerous, right?
And I feel the same now. Thing is, I still want to help Shun get to the surface.
Gotcha.
The king is dead, and a plethora of mysteries have died with him unsolved. I still don't know what he was trying to accomplish here.
Hey, Pascal.
What's up?
Well, you know how Emilio's been feeling down?
Yeah?
Do you think there's anything I can do to help?
I've wondered the same. People questions aren't my specialty. I'd like to help him as much as you, but...
Hello.
Hey, what you doing?
Nothing. You know, just thought I'd check on how the investigation was going. Oh, wow.
We don't have the time or resources to investigate this any further. Sorry for letting you down, Shun. I can only imagine how you must feel right now.
Hey, don't give me that. It's not like this means I can never make it back home. You and your little lab friend, Johnny, whatever, you're geniuses. I'm sure you'll figure out how to make Babel work eventually. And even if it turns out you can't, this is a big world. I'm sure I'll find another way somewhere.
Another way out?
Yeah, but anyway, before I jump the gun on all that stuff, I've got to go cheer up Sir Mopes-a-Lot. He should know the difference between mourning and blaming himself.
Emilio's found himself some fine friends.
Oh, no! That took an overcapacity! Curse this refurbished ancient tech! Golly gosh darn it! I'm fine. I've got this. I can compensate for the pressure by using a larger volume container.
You know, Emilio might just need a small distraction. Something to take his mind off things.
Something to distract him. I've got it.
Good luck to you.
Thanks, sir.
Was that a messenger? What did he have to say?
Oh, just an update from the provinces. In the wake of the king's death, many regions have fallen into strife.
I came to ask, what do you plan to do now that it's done?
What's done?
The king. The whole reason for your revolution, the only purpose I had, he's gone now. You asked as if you knew. You said the king's blood lies spilt across his throne. So what will you do now?
The Ignatz fight has only just begun. The king's death gives us more work to do. Unrest in this country will only worsen from here. The royal guard has lost its head. We'll see a great deal of turmoil as lords seek to expand their holdings or settle old feuds. Until this country is whole once again, the Ignatz will still have a job to do. We'll be starting on it as soon as Pascal finishes his work here. You could come, unless you plan to stay here forever.
Sup, Amelia? What were you and Demetrio just talking about?
It's none of your business. Now, what do you want from me?
What? I'm just sick of sitting around. I didn't build up all these muscles just to lose them. Thought we could spar for a bit. You know, if you're feeling up for it, I mean.
Well, I'm not. I suggest you find a tree somewhere.
What's the deal? I asked nicely and everything.
Have you forgotten that you can't go back to the surface? By what right are you acting so damn chipper? Your dream was ruined.
Well, I'm not happy about how things turned out. That's life. But I understand that acting depressed isn't gonna help me fix it. That would just make me useless like you are. That make you mad, Prissy boy?
You're getting more skilled.
If you seriously think that's impressive, you must suck even more than I thought you did.
Never called it impressive!
Children at play. Then again, perhaps I'm the real child here.
Our first order of business is to head to a nearby town. We need to secure some fresh rations and supplies. After that...
are you doing here?
Misha.
I've decided to leave the Ignots.
But why, Louise?
You know why. Because I betrayed you all for money. None of you will ever see me the way you did before, and you shouldn't have to try. So goodbye.
Is something wrong?
It's the island Zeusians. They're asking us for assistance.
What's their situation?
Apparently the island's been besieged by a large number of ships, but I don't understand why. That place was generally left alone by Endras for generations.
I've come here to bring this island under my protection. I can only imagine the squalor in which you've all been living. Rest easy knowing that you'll soon know safety and civilization as my slaves. Can't tell the difference between lords and bandits these days.
Yeah, and there's no one to stop him. I hear the king died in Babylon. It's a proper mess, all right. And with Prince Emilio missing, too, the entire country's falling apart.
Now give me everything you got.
Come on, no stalling.
I don't have a single cent to give you, ruffians. Please, I have a family.
Shut your mouth.
This is for trying to slip it past us.
We're totally gonna get away with this. The king's dead and the lords are fighting. So who's gonna stop us?
It's falling apart. No one is strong enough to hold the country together.
Never occurred to me that the king was the only thing stopping people from invading that Zeusian island.
I wonder how long they can hold on.
At any rate, our work as a revolutionary army is over. And our work as peacemakers begins. We must stop this fighting before it gets even worse. The thing about the Ignots is, each of us decided to be here, decided to stay. Louise, nobody's going to take that choice from you. So decide.
There's something that I have to take care of.
What? What do you have to go do?
Not go. I choose to stay and do whatever I can to help the cause.
You'll stay?
That's twice you've broken your word to us.
Before I thought I needed to leave to pay for what I've done. But if the Ignots still have work ahead of them, then I think the best path towards atoning for my crimes is through service.
What good is a traitor's service?
Not much. I don't expect you to trust me with anything important again. And I won't ask you to think of me as a comrade. I ask only for the chance to nullify a small part of the damage I've done.
You think we can trust her, Demetrio?
Do you really have to ask? Listen here. There has never been a time in my life when I haven't trusted you, Louise.
But she thought...
She did what she thought was right at the time, and has since come to know her mistake. And as the message she relayed from the Zeusians demonstrated, a person of her unique background is far too useful to lose.
Thanks, Eljuia.
What a pushover.
I knew Demetrio would decide to forgive her.
You act as if you know everything there is to know about Demetrio. I hate it.
And I've known him far longer than you.
If she has to stay, then I'll watch her. If she's up to something, I'll know instantly.
I'll watch her as well.
You're a copycat.
No, I'm not.
R2.
I'm not.
R2.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Louise?
It's all out now. You'll never have to break your heart to keep yourself in check again. Instead, listen to it and do whatever it tells you is right. You can trust that.
So, what the hell am I doing here? Why do I always play right into his hands? I know it's all pointless, so why? Will you just leave me alone already? How I spend my days doesn't concern you.
Oh, enough of that crap! It's my concern as much as yours. We're in this thing together and you're stuck in a rut! I won't leave you behind!
I see.
About time!
Looks like it's my win.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Here. I guess I should thank you.
For what? I didn't let you win.
You only came out here to try and cheer me up.
Yeah, that's kind of true, but I was also feeling pretty antsy. So listen, man, you need to cut it out with the perpetual pity party. I think you should learn how to let go of the past.
Say what?
The past isn't changeable, you know?
Sure.
But the future is, so if you think forward, you could be a little more positive. Before Delzine was killed, all you thought about was revenge. But now that he's gone, all you talk about is regret. Why? It's almost as if you enjoy being depressed. You're like the Prince of Gloom.
That won't catch on.
But it's accurate. You're always up kicking dirt in the corner, looking bummed out.
I guess you're right.
No, I was just talking smack. You're supposed to snap back, remember? We've covered this. Say something real mean, cut deep, I'm ready. Come at me.
You were only telling me the truth. I've become far too obsessed with the past.
What? You mean that?
However, I'm not like you. You still have your goal. I have nothing. No purpose.
I wouldn't worry. Just do what you can. You'll be fine. Focus on the future you'd like to see. And help whoever you can along the way.
You make it sound rather simple. That's it. I understand now. Thank you.
If we head straight for Gradito, we'll pass through settlements both here and here.
And both of those settlements happen to be under siege the same as he is.
Demetrio,
We were wondering where you guys had gone.
Hey, what's up?
I've come to ask a favor.
It's good to see that you've perked up a little bit. That have to do with this favor?
It does. I want to join the Ignots.
Any particular reason why you're saying this now?
Between leaving the capital and arriving in Babylon, I've seen more than I could have imagined. The poverty of the people, the cruelty of privilege, the way our world treats those of ill-fated birth. Before, I'd hoped to use you. I saw your group as a tool for obtaining revenge. I see more now. See that you fight for something worthwhile. Let me help. I beg you.
I'll give you a few points for passion, but I've got no idea what you're asking for. You're already one of us. Have been for a while.
Thank you, sir.
Cool. Well, if Emilio's gonna make it formal, then I guess I should go ahead and make this thing official, too.
Are you asking to join?
What? No, I don't have to. Do you have any idea how much I've contributed to this adventure?
Practically nothing?
No, definitely something. Look, a lot of it was before you joined, so it's no wonder you don't know.
Strange,
Well,
I didn't hear that.
they truly are a lively bunch.
I don't like
And yet, for the long journey we have ahead of us, there's no one I would rather have beside me.
So anyway, I think I'm gonna keep helping you guys out as well. At least until I make it back home.
Speaking of, I think we may find a lead on that in the capital.
Oh, hey, Pascal. What do you mean in the capital?
We found out about as much as we can from looking at Babel. Mechanically, it seems to be sound. Our best theory at the moment as to why it failed is that it's being somehow sealed from the surface. There's no telling how or why, though. Not yet.
I see.
Wait, so you think someone who lives on the surface blocked it? But if no one knows about Endor there, then how could they?
That's not a bad question.
No, it's not. Who's to say? But the two of you are right. It does seem odd. Perhaps the blockage on the surface side was a natural occurrence.
I think we'll find that such conjecture is pointless until we've given the subject more research. Shun? Here are our options. We can either continue investigating Babel in the hopes of finding some way to unlock this seal for you, or we can start from scratch and look for your passage above elsewhere. The good news is that regardless of which path you choose, it'll start with research at the Royal Laboratory.
Our course is clear then. We make our way to the capital, bringing peace and order back to each region we pass through with either diplomacy or force of arms.
Our next harvest isn't due for many months. If you take away the rest of our stores, the village will starve. If you would leave us just half the year. I beg you, sir, don't do this.
Don't do what? It's a lord's right to take taxes from a village he owns.
But we live in the king's land.
I guess he hasn't heard the rumors about what the king does to treasonous lords. The king is dead, and you mongrels would do well to mind how you speak to your new lord. Delzine's dead?
What will become of our poor kingdom without him? Oh,
Hurry and get it all loaded. Once we're done here, we'll need to head straight to the next town. What? A knife? But where from?
Step away from the grain and put down your weapons. You must be a powerful lord indeed, preying on a village this small.
I'll show you. What are you waiting for? Kill the bastard!
Ignots, attack!
You keep on bumping into me like this, I'll start started thinking you mean to hide behind my back.
That's hilarious. I was about to say the same thing to you.
It's good to know you two are watching my back even in the midst of battle.
We're watching Demetrio's back and your sword.
You do anything suspicious, you die.
Come, this way.
Hurry!
To the keep!
Come on, you're getting away!
Let them go.
But why should we?
The battle's over. Let them run. We have wounded to attend to.
Thanks for the chow.
It saddens me that such meager fare is the most we can offer the saviors of our village.
It was a feast to our eyes, I promise.
I feared our kingdom was doomed when I heard about the king, but with people like you around, we might pull through.
No worries. Sticking up for you downtrodden peasant types is what we Ignots are all about.
Forgive our comrade's rudeness. He's a very recent recruit.
Hey, you seem to be forgetting that you're just as new as I am.
No, you'll recall that I was inducted first.
True, you saw it yourself. Emilio joined before you did.
But only by the time it'd take you to crack a quadratic equation, sir.
Well, he's smart, so that'd be like instant.
Almost, but not quite.
You're the Ignots. We've heard a few rumors about your group. Are they true?
Well, the bit about us rebelling against the king is true. But it wasn't us who slew him, and now we march for the capital, fighting all who seek to take advantage of his loss.
If the whole kingdom is suffering like we are in the King's Land, I'm glad to hear you aren't the cause.
It's basically a battle royale. The Ignots never made designs on the king's life precisely because we feared something like this would happen.
Now that every lord's a king unto himself, many are looking to expand. To feed their armies, they raid defenseless towns like this.
All good here, though. We chased off that one lord easy. I doubt he'll be coming back here anytime soon.
I know he will for a fact.
What do you mean?
A clever vulture knows to wait.
Okay.
It's true enough that you saved us today, but once he finds out you've departed, our new lord will return to take us for all we have.
Sounds likely. I doubt that glorified bandit will start behaving because he's scared we'll come back.
But it's not just us. There are Ignots fighting to stop people like him all over the place, aren't there?
That there are, but we're spread far too thin to protect every town or to stop every lord.
Well, if that's true, then what the heck are we gonna do?
It would be pointless to fight with this force alone. We'll lose. Delzine had an army of 80,000 men. Also, he had the sworn fealty of each of these lords.
And we have neither.
So what? We give up? Why are you being so negative? I thought you decided you were gonna cut it out with all this gloomy crap.
I'm simply stating the facts. Listen, we need to know what we do and don't have. If it's peace we're after, we can't act like these petty feuding lords. We need to present this country with a better alternative.
Such as a decent figure to lead them. Right.
If only this country had someone like you to rule it. All I meant to say is that it would be nice to have a king who's both pragmatic and considerate of the needs of his people. Our last king held the peace, but that's about all he did. Please, forgive an old man for his rambling.
No, you've done nothing wrong.
Those self-righteous brigands. When Delzine died, I thought I could finally expand. Why'd the Ignots have to show up here? Every minute I sit here idly, other lords are taking what should be mine. Hey, Captain! Get your lazy ass in here! At once! We're moving out! I want the troops in full armor! We'll catch them by surprise! Have the archers tar their arrows! I'll take that town or burn it to ash! So, those Ignots think they've won. Well, they're about to learn what happens when noble blood is brought to anger. We'll see who's laughing then. Hey, what's wrong? Don't just stand there, get moving! Ready my troops! Somebody help me! Help me! God! God at once!
There's no point. We're all alone.
You there! Who are you?
Someone with a shared interest.
You want to find that lord and talk?
Yes, we all heard what the village elder said, and he's right. The lord is remorseless. Once we leave, it's just a matter of time before he attacks these people yet again.
We don't have time for this. I'd be all for it, but our Zuzian allies are in just as much peril as this town.
They're right. These aren't the only people who are in need of assistance.
And anyway, do you really think that you can persuade this lord to change?
No. But I have things to ask him.
Such as?
Ever since Babylon, I've been trying to figure something out. How can I make an impact? How can I make life for more people good? But talking to that elder last night, I realized something. That question's still too big for someone as ignorant as me. If I'm to change people's lives, I need to learn from them. The good and the bad.
Okay, but how can you be sure this lord will even give you an audience?
Only thing to know about brutes like him is that they can't be reasoned with.
Here's an idea. Just be like you, then. Do you have any idea who you're speaking to? And when you show him the king's seal, he'll be all, yes, me lord. You could probably get that lord guy to bow and stuff. He'll do whatever you say.
Sometimes I forget how stupid you are.
Can it, gloomy boy? Delzai never disinherited you. That means you're still his successor.
Yes, but
That lord would have to be a fool to refuse to see the king's heir.
So go seal with the king. Here. And he'll be all, sorry, sir.
nowhere under Adamas has such an odd gesture been mistaken for etiquette.
All right. If you want to speak with this lord, go.
I appreciate it. See you soon.
Actually, I'm coming along with you.
Very well.
Then I'm going too. And since these two will want to watch me, there's hardly any point in splitting up.
No, we need to limit our numbers. If we're to keep this diplomatic, we can't look too threatening.
Why did you have to come along too?
Thought you'd need a back to hide behind if things get rough.
How original.
This the place?
So it would appear.
It's massive. How many rooms do you think that place has?
Feel free to stay behind and count them once we're done.
Does it seem weird to you guys that nobody's around? Wouldn't you think there'd be a few soldiers up on the walls at least?
And for a castle gate to be both open and unmanned at a time of war.
What's wrong?
For a split second, I felt a highly abnormal presence.
Let's go in, but stay on guard.
This place is swanky. It makes the Elder's house look like a pigsty.
That it does. For a lesser lord to be so wealthy, he must tax his people half to death.
So he took it all from some villagers. How can we get a guy like this to look at them as people? To be honest, this is starting to give me the creeps. There ought to be at least a few... Shh. You hear something?
What is it?
That room is not empty.
Why are you here?
Good. You remember us from yesterday.
Damn it! What do you want with me? Go! Get away!
We only intend to talk with you.
Talk? About what?
We would like for you to put an end to your raiding.
I suppose I should have known it'd be something stupid. It's only natural for the strong to take from the weak. So why should I stop?
So the weak can get strong. You should help these towns instead of preying on them. Doing so wouldn't actually make you any weaker yourself. You'd build allies, trade partners.
Have a lot of experience ruling, do you? Let's say I disband my army today. Those precious villagers of yours will end up at each other's throats by tomorrow. The first thing you should know about war is that kind men never last.
You're totally full of it! Don't try to convince me to act like an entitled bastard just because you do!
Wait, listen, you can take whatever you want. I'll do anything, I swear. Just spare me.
Well, I never thought I could be this intimidating. Chill out, man. If we come here to kill you, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Oh, please don't do this. I'm begging you, don't murder me.
Something isn't right here.
Agreed, the man's abject terror seems to be unrelated to our presence.
Stay away! Just stay away!
Seriously, what's going on?
I'm sorry. Please don't.
Most of it.
How are you still alive?
Well, I wouldn't quite say it was good luck.
This can't be. You should have died when Babel failed.
I couldn't die. I had too many scores left to settle. Funny, I was certain that if I wreaked enough havoc, I would draw you ignots in eventually. But I never imagined I would find you with so little effort. Why, I haven't even raised a single village yet. I've been through worse than the wound I got from you, but it's that wound that's kept me going. It's important to have things to look forward to. I've been imagining all the different ways I can kill you boys. And decided that first I'll give you scars to match mine.
Demetria, you two have them outnumbered. Should we fight?
We should. I'll take him head on. You two flank it.
Right! Come up from your shield and fight! Is that the best you can do?
Gotcha!
Don't just stand there. Get away from him.
Oh, what are those?
Don't know. Still feel good about this fight now that it is a 4-on-1.
Demetria!
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, but I assume it was caused by Babel's malfunction. Can't imagine what happened in there. There's no way exposure to such power leaves you untouched.
Emilio!
Shoot! Amelia!
It's a shame you have your hands full or you can help one out.
So, something tells me we're not going to be able to talk our way out of this place after all.
We wouldn't even be here if I hadn't had the stupid idea to come and talk sense into that lord. We could never really change the world. Who the hell do I think I am?
Well, if you're always dwelling on every mistake you make until it feels like you're drowning in them, then yeah, you'll prove yourself right. But you don't have to do that. Deal with the problems in front of you instead.
All right, I'll try it.
Let him go.
Let's shake things up. I've decided that I'd like to start this little bloodbath with you. Don't worry. Your puny comrades are going to join you soon. What the? Well, look at you.
Demetrio's alive.
Is that...
Ghidorah.
I never got a chance to thank you for Babel, Ibelda.
You've cheated death somehow. Not that I have room to talk on the subject. I lived through a lot worse than a scratch on the chest.
How's your throat? Can you breathe?
I'm fine.
How many of these things are there?
What are you after, Ghidorah? The king you served is dead, and so are all the rest of your truculent buddies. You don't have a boss or a crew at this point. There isn't anything left for you to fight for.
Right, my original purpose for fighting has been taken from me by a craven wretch I once called comrade. Thus, for as long as you draw breath, I'll have more than enough hatred to fight. I'll do whatever it takes to see you dead!
There's a real fire to that hatred of yours. Think I'll let it smolder? I'd feel wrong if I put it out too soon. Till next time!
Even if I have to chase you to the end of the world, I will watch the life drain from your eyes. I owe you my gratitude. It might have gone badly if you hadn't shown up. I came for Ibelda, had no intention of saving you. Yet somehow your blade ended up between his and my neck. Where are you headed? Who knows? Well, if you're on the fence, then you should consider coming along with us. A common enemy's not a bad way to make friends. Think about what you're saying. I've fought against you Ignots since the rebellion's earliest days. Who has spilt more of your friend's blood than me? Probably no one. But I've fought against you long enough to know that you're both honorable and talented. I offer no pretense. My sole objective is to avenge my dead. In terms, we'll have to deal with him again before long. But for now, the defense of your island takes priority. How's it look?
Well, the enemy has 5 ships with cannon. They're awaiting our surrender.
Hopefully we can get to them before they decide to land troops. The men I send should help prevent that.
I'm trying not to think of what could happen in my absence. The Ignots' help has been invaluable. We won't forget.
Truly, your people have done more than enough to earn our support.
So what? Did you figure out what the deal is with Babel?
All will be revealed in time.
Whatever you say.
Joseph and I have gleaned some more information regarding Babel. Care to hear?
I certainly would.
Here it is. The ultimate Babel diagram.
Yeah, that picture's pretty useless to me. Just walk me through it, will ya?
As everybody knows, Babel is essentially an ancient tunnel, a gateway that allows individuals to travel freely between Endora and the surface. The work I've done on Babel has only ever dealt with the parts of it that are within Endora. We can find nothing wrong with those parts, so it stands to reason that there's a blockage near the surface.
The data we got from the gauges we repaired only served to confirm the utter flawlessness of Pascal's design. So while Ibelda did experience particle disassembly, he obviously was not transported to the surface.
I believe that event is what corrupted him. Babel's essentially a dead-end alley now. Who can say what Ibelda found in there? Could be that their particles were blended.
And to think I wanted to be the first one through.
There's also one more thing to be learned from all this.
There is? What is it?
It pertains to the disappearing warp particles.
Wait, what are those things again? I forget.
Just the energy that gives form and life to all of Andorra.
Oh, that rings a bell. It's the stuff that lets us use our warp relics, right?
Precisely. And we've discovered that for reasons unknown, these particles have diminished in number over recent years. At one point, Joseph and I hypothesized that the phenomenon was somehow connected to the reconstruction of Babel.
But if we look at the example of Abelta, it seems that most particles entering Babel do eventually come out. So essentially, we're back to the drawing board.
Rough news.
And the particles are still disappearing after Babel's failure?
If so, it's starting to look like El Juia's apocalypse might happen after all.
It makes sense. When he said that Endor was losing the forces that keep it whole, he must have meant the warp particles.
He saw an apocalypse. The message I received this morning makes a lot more sense now.
Message?
It came from an ally in the capital. Seems your psychic friend's not the only one who thinks the world might be ending. A radical group was preaching the same there, inciting the people to panic.
Not good!
The darker the rumor, the faster it will spread.
And people who feel like they have nothing to lose are prone to riot. This rumor has effectively crippled the Royal Guard's ability to keep the peace.
As if there wasn't enough chaos before all this. Spreading panic about the end of the world is the last thing this divided country needs.
There's yet another fire that needs putting out.
Emilio.
We can do it! The first step is to put everything we have into ascertaining why the warp particles are beginning to disappear. Once we know that, we should be able to make a plan and assuage the fears of the people.
I agree. No need to worry, Shun. This is our priority, but I also fully intend to help you find a way back home.
Oh no, forget about me. I don't want to distract you from figuring out how to save your country.
Sounds good.
I'm sure that Pascal can handle both.
Of course. It'd be foolish to underestimate the greatest scientist in Endora.
Him or his sidekick.
They might be weird, but they're also geniuses.
And here I thought we had a difficult road ahead of us before.
At least we know it won't be boring.
You have a remarkable knack for optimism.
Stop, please. There's no reason why we shouldn't all get along here.
And that's what I've been trying to do, but Ghidorah, what could Demetrio have been thinking?
Recruiting the head of the truculent.
Well, he's never led us astray before.
I had one reason for joining this group, and it wasn't to gain approval. If you don't want me here, then make me leave.
Will you please stop trying to provoke them? I know he's rough around the edges, but Ghidorah's really a good guy. Says you, traitor. Enough!
I'll need you to tell Demetrio that they fell into the sea.
You're only joking, aren't you?
This is why short-tempered children shouldn't have warp relics. I am not a child.
Let's do this, now.
Ghidorah, there's no need for this!
Would everyone please just calm down?
That's enough! I humbly request that you entrust these two to me.
I'm not an object to be given.
What are you talking about, Gradito?
Demetrio!
What is it?
If you'll have me, I would like to join the Ignots. I've looked after only myself and my own for too long. We cannot protect this country divided. Once the island is safe, I'll join you in your fight.
We would be honored to have you.
Good. There's no erasing the crimes you've committed. That said, I know the feeling of regret far too well myself to condemn you. When a Zuzian asked to be entrusted with a life that was forfeit, we put both our honor and our very own lives on the faith that they can be redeemed. I ask that you set your hatred aside if you can.
Think you two better let it go. It'd be a travesty to let a speech that good fall on deaf ears. It would also be ignoring an order. Got it?
We can't fight this.
You don't give me orders.
I can see I would be hard-pressed to find a better ally. Thanks for the help.
My blade is yours. Whatever the outcome may be, I fight with you.
We're under attack! Prepare for battle! Loose formation, got it? We'll close ranks when they land! This island would be so much easier to colonize if I was able to use the populace. For the best, though, these Zuzians have been free too long to make decent slaves. What? To arms!
That may well be the first thing you said about my people that's actually true.
How did you get onto my ship?
If you leave now, we'll let you return to your own miserable lands in one piece.
Keep on making offers like that and folks will think you've gone soft.
No, you're clearly bluffing. What can two men do against all these troops?
Actually, I think you'd be surprised. That's that.
Don't come back either!
make our way south to the capital, halting riots as we go. Rather than leave the north as it is, I'd like for you Zuzians to stabilize it.
Happy to. We're already familiar with the region. We can move out soon.
Look, I know this is a tough request given the situation, but...
You're asking us to minimize bloodshed. I understand.
You know me well.
If we don't show respect for the sanctity of life, then who else will?
Doesn't this seem a little unfair to you? I mean, our first mission was to do laundry.
No, but there might be an actual problem.
Father! You're finally home!
Yes, good to be back.
Is that your kid?
He called him father.
Hey, he's your spitting image.
Crumb, you don't need to fear these people. They're my trusted comrades. Now say hello.
Sorry for making him cry.
Well, we never were the best at first impressions.
I mean, yeah, you and Emilio are pretty scary to look at.
It's quite hard to hear from a man with the face of an ass.
Why don't you look me in the eyes and say that?
Because looking at you is painful.
Oh, I'll show you something painful.
He's terrified. Well done.
Father, I can't.
Whoa there. If you want to be strong someday, you can't keep crying like an infant. I won't always be here to take care of you.
What's up? Does it have to do with that problem you mentioned?
I wanted to explain in private to avoid causing any offense.
Explain away.
It's about sending Gradito to unite the North. He's a fine leader, but it won't go smoothly.
Huh? What makes you think that?
Too many Endra have been raised to view Zuzians as savages, scarcely better than animals. In an atmosphere this fearful and chaotic, regardless of intentions, the Zuzian peacekeeping force might very well be seen as an invading army.
All it took was one look at Ibelda. I was convinced they were all savages.
It's easy to form prejudice from appearance and rumors. It's unfortunate, but it's not something we can ignore. It's why I think our safest option would be to send out a coalition of both Zuzians and Endra.
That really makes sense.
Yeah?
Though it's a pretty big surprise to hear that from a guy who used to say that peace between us and the Zuzians was totally impossible.
Shut up, you fool!
What? You know it's true.
Be quiet!
Think I might just steal your plan. I'd like to help that father get back to his son however I can.
Good, please do.
I see the light.
Wow, I really needed this. I can't remember the last time I felt so relaxed.
Yes, it's important to take time to cleanse and
I
recharge.
can second that, even if we might be getting close to the end of the world.
The warp particles keep disappearing. I guess that places like this will disappear too. I wonder sometimes, is there any way that someone like me can help?
One way comes to mind. Something that no one can do but you.
Are you serious? What is it? Tell me.
It's obvious. You need to get married to Emilio and help him restore that royal bloodline.
That really is something that no one's capable of aside from Alicia.
No, what? Why me?
Because you're the only girl that the prince even looks at.
And the color of your heart changes when you're near him. I've seen it.
No, it doesn't. Or if it does, that's just because we've known each other since we were kids. That's all there is to it. We're friends, okay? Plus, it's super obvious that he's into me. I mean, he ditches me every chance he gets.
Yeah, he does kind of do that. So maybe you're more of a nagging mother figure.
Louise.
What? I'm only telling her straight.
Honestly, I don't even know how I feel. I'm usually too busy worrying to think about that stuff. Like when I found out that it was possible for him to get trapped inside of a warp relic, it scared me to death.
There's no need to worry. I haven't sensed even the tiniest bit of hatred from him recently.
Why not talk to him about how you feel?
Emilio has too much on his mind. He's still trying to figure out his purpose in the world. And honestly, I need to do the same myself. If I'm still at his side after we've done what we need to do, things will be more clear. I'll know for sure how I feel. And at that point, I don't think I'll be scared to tell him anymore.
I understand completely. You just described the way I feel about Demetrio.
Oh, I didn't know it was like that.
Romantic rival.
I've been quiet for so long, but I do want to tell him what it means for our purposes to be intertwined. Someday, right?
Hey, worth a shot.
Hope you don't screw it up.
If you want to be strong, don't cry like a baby.
Hey. I get it. If Gradito goes on this mission, you won't get to see him for a while. Your dad know where you are? Won't he be worried that you're gone?
Please don't tell him I was still crying, okay?
Sure. But you should tell him what you're feeling.
I can't. I have to act like I'm strong, or he won't feel right about leaving me behind.
Tough break.
It's not weak to have feelings. Your father isn't trying to help us save the world because he's a leader among the Zuzians. He's about to embark on a very dangerous mission, and he's doing it because he has you. So tell him if you're sad. Tell him how much you love him and admire him.
He'll just be ashamed that I'm so weak.
Come on now, I think you owe your old man a little more credit than that.
He's your father. Talk to him.
Okay.
Looks like I got more fish than you.
Shut up.
Home before dusk. You know the rule.
Sorry, lost track of time.
Our bad.
Father, I wanted to say good luck with your mission. Mother and I will take care of things while you're gone, but we'll still miss you, so come back as soon as you can, Kay.
Spoken well, my son. For the sake of you and your mother, I'll do my best to finish this task as swiftly as possible. As you are my prize, so shall I strive to be yours.
It's time to call it a night. We're heading out early tomorrow.
I can't sleep.
I know just how you feel, but if we try to rush things, we'll only make mistakes.
Right.
Emilio, what brings you here so late?
I need to ask you something.
I'll excuse myself.
Don't. You're welcome to stay. So, Belzine, you mentioned there was something you wanted to ask him, right?
You're wishing you'd known more about the king.
Yeah.
I see. Understand that this is just a guess, but I suspect that the king may have been trying to meet someone who lives on the surface. This would have begun a number of years before your biological father, Alzarm Langheim, came into the throne. Prince Delzine was tasked with unifying the North, and I have reason to believe that this is when he found Babel.
Is there any chance it was still operational at the time?
It's possible. He was the first person to reach it since the fall.
Do you have any idea what he might have seen there?
Afraid not. I've scoured the Royal Library for documents from that campaign, but I came up empty-handed.
King Alzarm likely knew. I don't suppose you might remember anything he said about it.
No, I wouldn't even know his face.
Unfortunately, Emilio was only 2 years old at the time of his father's death. None of us remember being that young.
There's so many questions that I should have asked before.
That's all right. It's never too late to start learning more. The Royal Library has a great number of records concerning King Alzarm.
But it's King Delzine who I really want to know more about. I think I owe it to him and myself to find out the truth.
If you'd like, I'd be happy to start you off by telling you everything I know about him.
My experience is limited, but I'd like to help as well.
Thank you both.
Well, I'll be sure to report my progress up north.
Looking forward to it.
I know that it was you who suggested that some Ignots accompany us. You have my gratitude.
You're welcome.
Father! When I grow up, I'm gonna join the Ignots, just like you. And when I do, the two of us can travel the world together.
I like that plan. Tell you what, kid, you can be a future Ignot starting right...
What's the point of maintaining a castle that doesn't have a master?
I'm sure that Prince Emilio will return someday.
How can you say that? We don't know how the king died.
He's come back.
Who has?
It's Emilio. Our prince has finally returned to the capital.
It's awesome. Castles on the surface aren't even close to this cool.
You've seen it once before, remember?
Yeah, but I was too busy running for my life to take it all in.
It's unusually quiet for a castle, and I can only sense a few people inside.
Prince Emilio! Thank goodness you're safe!
We are so honored to welcome you home, Your Highness.
Glad to be back. How have you been?
It's the same as always with us.
Alicia, you're back too.
Yeah, about that. Sorry for leaving without saying bye.
Not to worry, my dear. We're just glad that you're safe.
Well, isn't this nice? It's a little reunion.
Prince Emilio.
Aaron!
I'm glad you're well. We've been waiting. My men and I are at your service as always.
Thanks. And it's good to see you, too.
If I may, who have you brought here?
These are my comrades. I trust them with my life.
Of the soldiers that went with the king on his pilgrimage, less than half returned after his death.
So few. But they didn't even suffer a dozen casualties.
That may be true, but...
The rest deserted, right? They watched their paycheck die, and knowing the chaos to come, many decided they'd be better off as brigands.
Well, screw those guys.
The capital is in a bad way at the moment, so many have left. That's true for the castle as well. The few of us who remained did so out of hope that you might return someday.
Stop right there! What do you think you're doing? On whose behalf are you spying? If you're curious about this castle, I can show you to the dungeons.
This one's rather blusterous.
You need not die. Submit yourselves to arrest peacefully, or we'll have no choice but to bring you both in through force.
That's enough! Prince Emilio.
You two started another fight?
All right, tell me the truth of it.
These soldiers decided to kill us for walking down the hall.
These are dangerous times. So when I find strangers wandering about where they have no business, I assume they're up to no good.
As I said before, these are allies. They pose no threat to our cause.
But they...
Now sheathe your blades.
As you command. I apologize for my insubordinate words.
Hey, you two do the same.
Please understand, my prince. We only wish to keep you safe.
I realize that. You've been truly vigilant. I trust them just as I trust you.
If I could make a request, your comrades aren't known here, so please have them refrain from wandering alone, especially the Susians. We shall take our leave.
That kind of reminds me of a rent-a-cop. Well done. Look at you mediating disputes and whatnot. Your princely potential is really starting to shine, buddy. You'll sheathe your swords at once, or else.
Shut up. You've never treated me differently for being a prince before. Don't start.
Where'd everyone go?
They probably left when the king died. Some scientists see what they do as nothing more than a job.
But what could they have chosen over the unparalleled potential for discovery possessed by this lab? Surely there is no higher joy than true learning. I'm not incorrect, am I?
Nope, not for us. Now, let's sort out that data we brought for Babel.
Sure.
It's about time you showed up.
Rodney, I'm glad to see you made it.
Yeah. Now listen, I'm not a scientist anymore, just a simple man with a bakery. I only showed up to collect that baking pan you promised.
Well, you won't have too much use for it if the entire country gets destroyed now, will you?
I suppose you have a point.
Who is he, sir?
Rodney was my senior when I started research here. You might not know his name, but you've seen his work. I based much of mine upon it.
His work influenced your own? Amazing! Well, then it must have double inspired mine. Wow! Again, I find myself face to face with one of the pioneers of my field. I'm unworthy of this blissful day.
Well, you're exactly like I heard you'd be. Nice to meet you.
He's excitable, but talented.
Together, we'll break into research mysterious as the world's ceiling and develop instruments to detect that which once was fiction.
We will one of these days. But for now, I'd like to focus on the subjects of war particles and Babel.
Oh, right, sorry.
You found yourself quite the protege.
Planning to sit?
Demetrio, why'd you follow me?
Because I saw a young man wander past me looking lost, and I thought I'd ask him if he knew where he was going.
I'm far from lost. I grew up here.
Right. So what's up?
I was thinking about how small this throne really is. When Delzine sat in it, it seemed massive, regal.
That's the thing about a throne. It's meaningless without the man. Long as it's empty, it's nothing but a gilded chair.
Then why is it needed?
This castle, this city, this country, all began their descent into ruin on the very day this throne lost its master. It wasn't Delzine's army that held this country together. It was the union of his name with this throne. I wanted them divided, but not like this. We need a new king.
I know. When I think about King Alzar, or Delzine for that matter, they may as well be strangers. I want to know who those men really were. I'm sick of hiding from the truth.
Fine idea. A man should know his predecessors for what they are, not the heroes or monsters a child sees.
I shouldn't have to help make dinner. I'm grossed out enough by this stuff when it's cooked.
Hey, no one cares. No one wants to hear you complain, especially not the people who are really working. The servants here need all the help they can get, and everyone's pitching in somehow. So stop the whining. Besides, you know how it is. New recruits always get stuck with the crummy jobs. It's tradition.
I am not a new recruit! And even if I was new, Doro and Gradina were the real rookies. Wait, that's brilliant. I should go get them.
Huh?
Then again, maybe not. Nope. Gradina would get fur everywhere. And if Gidoro saw that we were cooking fish...
Excuse me, Alicia. Do you have a spare moment? Who are these people you've brought back with you? I've never seen such a mixed assortment. Well, how can I put it? I know. They're part of a volunteer army. Like if an innocent village gets attacked by brigands or some out-of-control petty lord, they come in and protect it. And the Zuzians are part of this? Mm-hmm. Are you certain? I don't think they're kind enough to do that.
Nice evening for a stroll.
Yeah, it beats cramped walls and stale air, especially in a place where I'm clearly not wanted.
They are blunt, aren't they?
Humans can't even make peace with themselves. One of the only things that unify them is their disdain for us. Perhaps when the chaos is ended, these Endra will see what we've done for them and put their hatred to rest.
It'll depend on their king.
Tell me, do you sense that presence in the woods too?
Yeah.
As I feared.
Everything seems to confirm it. Life can't be supported without warp particles.
Bad news. It looks like the capital's in danger.
What exactly is the threat?
The report was vague, but apparently there are creatures of unknown origin gathering in the forest near the castle.
What kind of monsters are we up against here? The castle's well fortified. Why don't we just wait in there?
Don't give in to craven thought. It's our sworn duty as royal guardsmen to defend the capital with our lives.
I'm willing to fight when there's a chance of winning, but we don't have enough men to win, and I don't want to die for nothing. So what? Does that make me a coward?
If you're really that nervous, then why don't you leave this little scrap to us?
You're fighting?
As are we.
The Zuzians.
I fail to see why you Zuzians would risk your lives to protect us.
You and your men have done well. It's due to your efforts that I had a castle to return to. Now let us repay that favor.
You can't mean to enter the fray yourself, my lord. It's too dangerous if you should fall.
Whatever this is, I fought against worse and survived.
Don't you worry about us. We might not all look like it, but we're actually pretty dang tough. Emilio does screw up and almost die a lot, but that's because he's got me around to save his dumb ass.
We've both read your diary, Shun. You know I've saved you more often.
What? You're bluffing.
I tend to be hungry after a good fight. Why don't you run back to the kitchen? You can make yourself useful there.
Keep flapping that jaw and I'll break it someday.
Has it ever occurred to you that you might be destined to be a chef? You could put your warp relic to good use for once.
If you're trying to say I'm no good at fighting, then step up and prove it.
With pleasure. Only way I'd lose is if I stab myself.
You're falling behind, boys. Hurry it up.
Never seen anything like these things. What are they?
They're with Ibelda. Or they're from him, at least.
Kinda cramped in my style. Why don't you go back to the castle and dry some clothes? You can use that spear as a hanger.
On second thought, you should probably reconsider your dream of being a chef. Vegetables are wily compared to you. They'd be tough to land a hit on.
Shut up.
Get out of the way!
They're not strong, but there are too many of them.
I could have handled that myself, you know.
If you're as strong as that, then don't waste my time by looking like you're about to die. Hidoro has a point.
You... He does not.
That's a scent.
I'm getting much closer. I feel them writhing in pain. I taste their screams. Soon they die. I can't wait to tear into them, to show them how I've burned. I'll soothe this wretched scar with a splash of fresh blood. Soon.
It's Ibelda. What do we do?
I hoped I would get you two alone. We can take our time now. Have fun.
Damn it, no.
Shun! Emilio!
Are you ready for your scar?
Is it just me, or is this guy even crazier than he was before?
Move it!
Emilio!
Ibelda! Get the hell out of my way!
doesn't look good.
No more holding back!
We're in trouble.
Thanks.
His glory to go around still! If the prince should march to battle, then so will his royal guard!
Don't strain yourself.
If I was afraid to give my all, I'd have died long ago.
So this is what it's like to fight with Endride on my side. I don't mind it.
Got it. Let's go!
Not deep enough.
Again? You marked me again?
It's a kick, right?
Yeah.
We've done it, man! The capital saved!
I'm surprised they made it out alive. I told you not to strain yourself.
Did it! We really did it! We protected the city! We're heroes! Monsters running!
It would seem I misjudged you. You have my thanks. Victory was only achieved because you took the vanguard. My men were frightened to the brink of mutiny till they saw you march with the prince.
It's fine. Your job is to protect the castle, and you can't.
This book could be useful.
I have my doubts about this one.
It was hard to find any text concerning Babel. The trouble with warp particle research is figuring out where to begin.
Yes, I agree. The volume of literature on this subject only complicates matters.
Well, we knew what we were getting into, right?
It'll be fine. With Rodney and Alicia's help, I'm certain we'll find what we need.
That we will.
Here's the last load.
Huh? Thank you, Alicia. You've been a great help.
The field, look!
All dead. How awful.
Seems like Ibelda's not her biggest problem.
True. But at least he's one we can solve.
We've received reports claiming that numerous areas of farmland across the country have dried up and withered, practically overnight.
Yes, but this isn't just a matter of crop failure. Forests and grasslands seem to be suffering as well.
For real? How come? I would wager that this is the first of many ways that the loss of warp particles will make itself known in this world.
It's all well and good to bring an end to the violence, but it won't mean much if we all starve to death afterwards.
And is that to be the fate of the farmers who lost their fields? Some of them had stores to fall back on, and we're helping out the rest.
But if the problem continues to perpetuate, supplies won't last for long.
It'll turn into a famine.
Even as we speak, Pascal and Joseph are doing their best to discover why our warp particles have been disappearing. Until their work is completed, the most we can hope to provide is a little bit of damage control. And maybe some peace of mind for the afflicted.
There are a few regions that have retained warp particle concentrations. Perhaps these people could relocate.
A good thought, but it could only work in the short run. It's purely chance those regions have been spared.
Diminishment rates aren't changing as the particle count lowers, so if we can't stop this...
Life is a fragile thing down here. If we want to ensure it continues, then we can't waste time.
Agreed.
Well, this sucks. Talk about things taking a turn for the worse.
Shun,
That's a somber face. What's up?
there's something we should go check.
If you're gonna drag me around, at least say why.
Can't you guess?
Huh?
This is the exact spot where you appeared in Endora.
Oh yeah, so it is. Is this a nostalgia thing?
Do you sense anything?
Like,
If this is the place where you appeared, it could be where you go back.
that's the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
Just try it.
Come on, dude. If it was as easy as that, I'd gotten home ages ago. Sheesh. That you brought me here for something important.
You heard the same reports I did. Endora's running out of time, and quickly. Soon enough, this really will be the land of the dead. There's no reason for you to bear witness to that. You should get back to the surface before it ends.
Hey, what's down here anyway? Any idea how deep it goes? Maybe we could drop a torch or something and check.
Shut up and listen. I'm trying to save your life here.
You shut up. You need to stop trying to solve my problems and deal with your own. The land of the dead? It sounds like you've already given up.
I'm not giving up.
Well, then do something. You're the prince. If anyone can, it's you.
Fine, so what do you think I should do? Or do you not know either?
As if you would listen. You'd rather go cry in the corner.
Bastard! No! Shoot! Are you all right, Shun?
Well, still in one piece. Hey, look, stairs.
Good, try to swing to them.
That was my plan. All right, they're solid, so come on down.
I wonder where these could lead.
No telling. They're part of your castle. I figured you would know.
Well, I don't.
There's the useless prince I remember.
Shut up!
Unless you have some climbing gear, I guess we might as well head down.
Yeah, down it is. To think that the dungeons used to go this deep.
Feel free to say sorry. Man, if you hadn't tried to push me, we'd be...
I'm sorry for overestimating your ability.
Nice one. If these kept going, do you think they'd hit the surface sometime?
Oh, no.
Well, it doesn't feel like they do. I'd say look, but I'm blind here.
Same.
So what do you think we should do now? You're the one who grew up here, so if there's a way out, you ought to know how to find it.
Who's there?
So, who is this guy?
A prisoner. Tell us who you are.
Why should I acknowledge your question when you refuse to answer mine?
I am Emilio My name's Emilio.
Emilio. That name's familiar to me. Or it used to be.
Who put you down here? Was it Delzine?
No, it wasn't him. It was King Alzur.
Really?
King Alzur was your real dad, wasn't he?
Correct. I'm employed in this castle as a servant. What did you do?
I fought in the service of the king. A short eternity ago, I was the leader of the truculent.
And how did you come to be here?
With one great blunder, I brought the crown's wrath upon myself and was cast down. But I am ever loyal to the king, and it was on his behalf that I acted. I would try the same again, I swear.
What exactly?
I did not betray my king.
I think we should get a little further back from this guy.
And having served him, what do you think of King Alzur?
The king was an incredible man, a great leader. His ambition was second to none, as befits a mighty ruler. We of the truculent served him proudly, happy to be both his shield and sword. Our loyalty was limitless. We'd follow any order from our king. Our only purpose was to serve him.
The new truculent weren't nearly that devoted.
All right, then. Let's say that the king was a good man and you were loyal. Why would he throw you down here?
Because he became corrupted, turned into something he wasn't. By a man.
Just one. Was it Delzine?
Of course not.
So then who?
He made a fool out of everyone in this castle. He disarmed us with his smile, undid us with the sweetness of his words. That man, he was equal parts vile and charming. He went to work the day we brought him in, turning us into his pawns.
A corpse near the castle will bring bad luck and disease. Deal with it, Frama.
Right. I believe he's still alive, my lord.
Then finish what nature couldn't, and go.
I shall. Would you like to keep this strange machine of his?
What? He's from the surface. Get him to the castle now, quickly.
Should we? We don't know what a surface dweller might be capable of.
He's just a man. If he proves himself to be ill-tempered, we can always kill him then.
As you say.
My one regret is that I stayed my hand. I should have killed him as soon as the king commanded me to. And that would have been the end of it. Like everyone, I had heard the stories of travelers from the surface appearing in Endora. But I never truly believed them. Certainly never expected to find one myself. Before long, the traveler made a full recovery and was able to set out once more. He returned to the surface and came back bearing gifts. The king's fascination swiftly grew into respect. Too quickly, the traveler gained his trust.
So how is it that you're able to travel freely between our worlds?
I fear I might bore you.
Suffice to say, it took years of research.
Then I take it you're a scientist.
I am.
Tell me everything you know.
As you command.
That's when the traveler gained the king's ear and began to feed it poison.
What tales did he tell? How was this man able to maintain Alzurm's interest?
He saw the king's ambitious nature and took advantage of it. Alzurm had just established dominion over the last few independent states of Endora, and with the entire continent united beneath him, he sought to conquer even more, and lifted his gaze up to the surface.
This level of technology is common on the surface?
Yes. Endora is a marvelous place, beautiful beyond measure. But thanks to the advances we've made on the surface, my people have luxuries that yours do not.
Oh, I would hear more of these luxuries.
To name a few, large wing vehicles that expedite travel, handheld tools that allow speech to cross great distance, and weapons more powerful than you could imagine.
I can imagine much. You've piqued my interest.
Your Grace, if I may, there is a proposal I would like to discuss. Wilderness abounds in this world. It's as if you never thought to harness it, to bend nature to your will.
You mean such a thing is actually possible?
Yes. I've contrived a way involving the science of my world, and the warp particles of yours.
I have my doubts. Is it not unwise to alter the course of nature?
As I was saying, I could take the power of the living world and place it at your fingertips.
That cur, he always had the words to bend us to his schemes.
Nothing! You had one task! How are you no closer to reaching the surface than when you started? Leave my sight. Useless fools have no place in my company.
Please reconsider, brother. These men have done great work in every other field.
Don't make me dismiss you again.
Sir.
Useless, the lot of them. They cannot hope to compare to him.
Permit me to speak my mind. I fear we've forgotten the words of our ancestors. They warned us to never deal lightly with those from the surface.
Be silent!
So this is what you call a warp relic?
Yes. You must not have these on the surface.
No. The power to draw in the energy around you and shape it with your own is exclusive to the people of Endora. It's magnificent. Your Grace, what say you? I could combine the mighty force you've shown me with the technology of the surface, but only if you will it.
I will it.
He fooled my king with honeyed words and promises of strength.
Your Grace, I think you'll enjoy what I brought you today.
And what might this do? How? What is it?
A weapon. Here. It's called a pistol.
Can anyone wield it? Show me what it takes to kill with this tool.
I would happily instruct you in its use, but it might be safer to do so in the garden.
From that day forward, my king was changed beyond return. Awestruck by the traveler's display of power, he became deaf to any other voice. Especially with Babel.
Babel? What did Babel have to do with it?
It was that man who told the king to restore it.
So it was Alzurm who started rebuilding it?
Yes, the traveler promised that once it was complete, Alzurm could go to the surface as he did. But that isn't all that would go.
What else?
He wanted to siphon off our warp particles and use them on the surface.
I believe that warp particles are the reason why this world is so verdant. By manipulating them, we could render snow-capped mountains arable or reverse the effects of overfarming. You would become the king who mastered nature. Your name would echo through the histories of both our worlds forever.
Would this enable us to exterminate the dragons who live in those mountains?
Of course.
Don't do this. We depend on warp particles in more ways than we can understand. They shouldn't be meddled with at all, let alone shipped off to the surface, never to
Another
return.
superstitious myth. Frankly, if it weren't for outdated beliefs such as this, I doubt that Endor would have fallen so far behind the surface. Instead of dwelling in the past with your dead, seek out brighter truths in the future. Look rather to the golden age of prosperity that your country is about to enter.
From the results I've seen you produce, I don't doubt it.
But, brother,
I have decided.
Lord Delzine had been suspicious of the traveler's motives from the beginning, but the king was deaf even to the words of his brother. He was practically brainwashed. He'll ruin this world, stealing our warp particles. I won't allow him to take Endor as soul. Stop!
Frama. That is your name, right?
What are you plotting, you charlatan?
If you intend to force my confession, you'll need to use more than stern words.
Convince me you're advising the king with the betterment of our country as your goal, and I will walk away. What do you find funny?
If it was possible to convince you, we never would have come to this point. Luckily, I don't care. I have more important things to do than ease an old lizard's worries.
You bastard!
Supposing I told all, do you think the king would believe your side of the story? He sees you as little more than a loyal pet, and yet you dare to draw your weapon on the man he's entrusted with the keys to the kingdom?
Guards! Somebody help! He's trying to kill me!
You.
What happened? What'd you do to him? Brahma, you cretin! Have you lost your damn mind?
No, he's making me.
That's one fool down.
My lord, you tried to take my dear friend's life. Forgive me, sir, please. That man, That's enough! You truly are a vile, jealous creature.
So you've been down here all these years?
Yes, I'm sure they thought I'd starve down here, assuming I survived the cut and the fall.
Did you find out anything else before you were dropped?
No,
Anything that might help us to reverse what was done?
nothing.
Could you tell me what the traveler from the surface looks like? Or do you know his name at least?
His name? The name? I can't remember!
If you noticed anything about how he was able to travel between here and the surface, please tell me.
He had something, but he kept it hidden.
Did you ever get a glimpse? If I could find the thing that he had, I could go home.
June, you're all right.
Sorry for making you worry. I'm perfectly fine.
What a relief. It's so good to see you home.
All right, Mom. It's good to see you, too.
I'm a little overwhelmed right now.
Mom, this is Emilio. He helped me out while I was stranded in his world. Well, it's more like we helped each other out. And somehow he ended up coming back here with me.
From where?
Oh, well, I'll just say it. This whole time I've been underground in a world called Endor.
An underground world.
Yeah, I'm guessing that sounds pretty far-fetched to you, doesn't it? Take a look at his outfit. No one from our world would be caught dead in that. Solid evidence, right? Here's science.
There's nothing wrong with my outfit. Shoot.
All I'm saying is that the only people who dress as weird as you in this world are cosplayers.
How dare you compare me to them?
Who is them?
I don't know who cosplayers are. You tell me.
Jeez, cosplay's hard to explain.
Don't think that you can use my ignorance.
You two quite a pair. I'm glad to see you made such a good friend while you were away.
He is no friend of mine.
I've got to admit, I'm kind of surprised by how not freaked out you are to hear about this.
Don't get me wrong, it's shocking. But I'm an archaeologist. This is hardly the first time I've heard about a secret world existing beneath us. Now, ancient texts are subject to interpretation, but some of them seem to claim knowledge of specific entrances to it. The eastern Himalayas, northern Russia, and there's one more, around the northwestern border of China.
And some people do know about Endora.
So it would seem.
The majority of experts say it's all fake, of course. But there have always been a few holdouts who at least believed it was possible.
And it sounds like you must be one of them.
Yeah, or I was until you confirmed it. Your father believes it as well.
Dad, really? Okay, but even if you figured an underground world might secretly exist somewhere, you can't have thought that's where I was.
That was our theory, as a matter of fact.
Wait, seriously? I can't believe you two. So I guess you didn't lose your minds worrying about what had happened to me after all, huh?
You cannot imagine how panicked we were. Since you went missing, your father has spent every waking moment trying to find out more about that world you were stranded in.
I didn't realize, sorry. I guess he's at the office right now?
Yes, he's taken to sleeping there to save time, so I barely ever see him.
I doubt he's gotten better about answering his phone. Cool. I'll go there tomorrow and surprise him. Would you care to tag along?
What else do I have to do?
I can't wait to see the look on his face.
Got a delivery.
Whoa, this is the good stuff, too.
I thought you might react like that. I don't know too much about the underground, but I doubt it has great sushi.
Thanks for the meal. It's delicious. I've been fantasizing about surface food for so long, but tasting it is... what's the matter? Dig in.
Feel free to have as much as you like. We have plenty.
So this is what food's like on the surface.
Well, yeah, this will be the first time you've eaten up here, won't it?
You must have put a great deal of effort into preparing this.
Someone did. It's actually delivery.
A strange name for food.
Delivery just means someone brought it to us. She already said that we call this stuff sushi.
I was raised with the luxuries of a castle. Yet, I've never seen such a beautiful meal.
What?
Yeah, sorry, it tends to slip my mind, but Emilio here's a prince back in his world.
Wait, I'm hosting royalty? I'm so sorry. I would have found this something better than delivery if I had known. We could at least go out somewhere if you'd like.
Don't worry. I can tell you for a fact he's used to way worse.
This is a finely made and tastefully decorated dish, well suited for the food it contains.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive it came out of a factory, man.
This factory must have great artisans. These engravings are sublime.
On second thought, perhaps it's for the best that we didn't go out.
You're weirding out my mom, dude. Shut up and eat. This is high-class sushi. Eat it before it dries out.
You might as well be asking me to eat a fine painting.
I give up. Pretty dang good, right?
What's he trying to say?
Probably that his mind's blown. Emilio?
For flavor, I think it might destroy my mouth. My nose, it burns.
Wasabi?
There wasn't even any on it. Hey, look, Emilio. It's totally cool if you can't handle the taste of spicy tuna. It's fine. There are a lot of children on the surface who can't take the heat, so don't sweat it.
You think you could goad me just like that?
Don't pretend you can take it.
Shut up!
So, I have to ask, how did a trip to your father's work end with you finding another world? And what was this Endora like?
Guess I better start at page 1. Well, basically, I found a weird crystal in Dad's office, and the next thing I knew, I was gone. The first thing I saw in Endora was this guy. It turned out he had plenty of problems of his own. There are all sorts of people in Endora. Most of them are basically the same as us, but there are also these guys called Zuzians. They're pretty different. No two look quite alike. Would you believe I flew on a dragon once? The people aren't advanced, but some have cool abilities. They get them by summoning these things called warp relics. Believe it or not, I can do it too. Not sure how that works.
You can what?
He can materialize a weapon from his body, as can I.
A weapon?
The first time we fought Bells, I was shaking so bad I thought I'd drop it.
If we hadn't been able to summon warp relics, I doubt that either one of us would have survived that battle.
Why were you fighting, Shun? Is this place really as dangerous as it sounds?
No, it isn't always, but at the moment, the whole country's in a state of chaos.
And following him around put me smack dab in the middle of most of it.
If it was really that dangerous, then you shouldn't have followed him. Why act so reckless?
I didn't have much choice at the time. I wanted to find a way home more than anything, but I didn't know where to start. Emilio was my guide there. I needed him. A little. But all that is in the past now. You're on my turf here, so if you want to get home, you need me.
Very well. I humbly request that you repay the favor I am owed.
Looks like the tables have turned, doesn't it? If you want to ask anything about the surface, you better hope I'm in a good mood.
Stop lording it over him, Shun. Forgive his rudeness. We raised him better.
It's fine, Mom. Emilio would talk to me like this all the time back in Endora.
That's because he's a prince. A bit of haughtiness is to be expected of him.
Don't expect anything from him. He's useless.
What's this?
You know, just one of a million things we have up here that you've never heard of. It's called a photograph. They're like instant perfect paintings.
They're great for preserving little moments. Thanks to photos, anyone can see how adorable baby Shun was. Here.
Whoa! Stop! Why are you showing him that? Not cool!
You're not even naked in this one. Now simmer down.
I'll simmer down when I'm ready. Please don't pull out those other ones. Give me that. I've seen enough.
He gets red when he's super embarrassed.
No more pictures. Got it?
Can you not handle it?
I suppose the others back in Endora must be wondering where we've gone.
Yeah, they're probably just as worried as my parents were.
I can't stop thinking about that story we heard from the prisoner.
About the traveler from the surface? Yeah, I wish we knew the end of it.
The end is still on its way.
Don't worry. My dad's pretty smart. There's a way to get back to Endora. He'll figure it out in no time.
I hope you realize how lucky you are to have such loving parents.
Where did that come from?
Nowhere.
Well, I guess it's true. My mom gets a little kooky sometimes, but she's always been there for me. And Dad's pretty awful at the whole being there thing because he works so much. But that might just be his way of showing that he cares about the family.
I see.
Good night, man.
Night.
Sure you want to go out in that?
I can run and grab you something of Shun's.
I do appreciate the offer, but I'm much swifter in my own clothes. If something happens...
Nothing's going to happen. I told you, dude. We're not in Endor anymore.
Well, I like to be prepared.
Fine. But don't take it personally if I pretend not to know you.
Loyal, aren't you?
See you later tonight.
If you're going to act like this, then just walk a few feet ahead.
Nah, you're like a kitten. If I let you out of my sight, you'll get lost.
That you, Shun?
Hey, feels like it's been forever.
Say, weren't you supposed to be taking a break from school to go travel overseas or something?
I guess my parents came up with that story when I went missing.
So you're back. How was it?
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, next time, send me at least a postcard or something, will you?
Yeah, sorry.
Did you bring back a friend?
Oh, yeah. You could say that.
I've never seen clothes like that. Where are you from?
Oh, nowhere. He's,
It's cosplay.
That explains it.
You're pulling it off pretty well, man. That wig looks super real.
Anyway, we'll see you at school.
Later. Have I even explained what cosplay is to you yet?
No, you have not, but it would appear that if I mention it, then I can dress however I please without anyone bothering me.
I guess that's the gist. You know, you're kind of smart when you want to be.
Let me guess, you expected me to lose my composure when confronted with an unfamiliar world.
Yeah, that's pretty on the mark.
Your weaknesses are your own.
Hey, I did just fine. Don't make me stop helping you.
Hush. This is nothing like Endride.
Bet you're starting to wish you could stay.
I have to admit that I haven't felt so carefree in a long while.
Knowing that there's zero chance of getting attacked here does take the edge off.
It still doesn't make any sense to me that I was transported to the surface along with you, but I never imagined I would like it this much.
If you keep on talking like that, I'm gonna think you like me.
Whatever.
Okay, I had fun too. Regardless of the why, I'm glad you're here.
Please wait just one moment. Shun is here to see you, sir.
Very well, then. See him through, please.
Yo, Dad!
Shun!
Sorry for the scare. Came back as quick as I could.
Yes, well, I'm just glad you're safe. And who's this?
This is Emilio. He's one of the people I met while I was down in Endora.
Endora?
The underground world. You guessed it right. You and Mom.
You don't say. It seemed like a long shot, but some part of me just knew. It's all as I expected.
Dang it. I was hoping I would get to surprise you with it.
Oh, I'm surprised, all right. I always am when one of my theories is confirmed.
That's not what I meant.
Come, you'll have to tell me the whole story.
Sure.
I see. That crystal must have enacted some sort of spatial transition.
Yeah, a spatial transition.
The crystal that pulled you into this Endora was actually discovered by your mother back when she was still an archaeologist. I assumed it was special, but a key between worlds? It's unheard of.
Pretty amazing.
I'll investigate thoroughly and let you know what I find.
I knew we could count on you.
Sure. Emilio? You look troubled. Is there anything you'd like to talk about?
No, it's nothing.
It's too soon to know, but I have some promising leads on getting you home, so don't you worry. For now, try to be patient.
I appreciate your help, sir.
Well, I know exactly how worried your parents must be. Since we got Shun back, it's only fair I see the same happen for them.
Actually, the thing is, Emilio's father passed away a few years ago.
Oh, I see. Please, I'm so sorry. My mistake. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable.
There's nothing to be sorry for.
Emilio's father was actually the king of Endora up until he died. We think that he was killed by his successor, Delzine. But now Delzine's been assassinated too, so there is no king.
I can only imagine the resulting chaos. This must be a difficult time in Endora.
It really is. And if anyone has the power to make things better there, it's Emilio.
All the more reason to hurry, then. I trust that you'll keep our lost young prince here close by your side, Shun. His safety is paramount.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him.
I know you will.
This feeling, it's out of place. Why would I feel so disquieted from the sight of Shun's father? What is it? What could it be about this man that feels so wrong?
It really is crazy, isn't it? They made such a big fuss about Babel back in Endora, but here we've got a crystal that does the same thing. Hey, what's the matter?
This memory, what is it? Why is it back now?
Emilio?
I almost have it back. It's right there. I'm so close to remembering.
Look, I don't know if you're feeling sick or what, but we should head home either way. Mom can take care of you, and I don't want her to worry.
There's a reason why our ancestors warned us against dealing with the surface, brother.
This conversation is over.
Please listen. You must not trust Asanaga.
Emilio, seriously, snap out of it, man.
Asanaga. That was his name. The traveler who stole our warp particles. It was him.
What are you saying? Hey, wait up. Slow down, will ya?
Hello. Did you forget something?
Hey, Emilio. Leave him be, he's busy.
I found out the truth, Asanaga. Andorra's existence wasn't just a theory to you. Don't lie. You knew what that crystal did. You've used it.
What the heck are you talking about?
How many times have you gone back? How many times since my father lost his life?
Don't do this, man. He's trying to help you.
Answer me!
What are you going on about?
Shun? I'm such a fool. I did all of these things out of love, but I hurt him. I think some part of me knew this would happen. Well, there's no point letting it get cold.
Hey, Shun. Makiko worked hard on this meal. You should eat it.
Thanks. If that's all you came for, then get out.
I'll be happy to leave just as soon as I see you finish your meal.
Emilio,
What's up?
it's funny. I could never understand why you wanted to kill Delzine. I knew you were mad, but the idea of hating the man who raised you enough to kill him, it seems so horrible. I get it now, though. Not that my father's the monster. I know exactly how you felt. Knowing all the things he's done, the lies he's told, it's screwing with my head. I'm not any different.
You are different.
Yeah, how?
Stop thinking about it and eat. Your mother is an exceptional cook. She puts the best chefs in my castle to shame.
That from Kidoro?
Yeah. A basic field report. Complete with a list of complaints about his new comrades.
Well, I suppose that's to be expected. With any luck, they'll learn to get along eventually.
Huh, we can hope. He said they'd found a Beldis trail. They're closing in on him.
That's so.
Demetrio! Hey! We've got news!
I think we figured out what happened to Shun and Emilio!
Let's hear it.
We're pretty sure the only place they could have ended up is in the castle's dungeon.
You sure?
Yeah, talked to one of the guards. He saw them heading that way before they disappeared. And there's no one in the castle who's seen either of them since.
I think Shun said the dungeons are where he first showed up when we came here.
Let's have the men take another look down there.
Right.
I'll see if I can help, too.
Good, thanks.
Demetrio,
What is it?
with your leave, there's something I'd like to look into alone. It pertains to the end of the world.
What do you mean?
I had another vision this morning, much like the one that came to me near Babel.
Still think it has to do with the disappearance of warp particles?
Yes. I confess I've been afraid. I've yet to truly push my ability to its fullest potential. But the end is coming, whether I look or not. Something has caused this imbalance, and I have to find out what.
The letters are starting to show again.
I thought this might work.
Excellent thinking, Joseph.
Thanks, sir. But I can actually trace this idea back to you. After all, it was your thesis that our eyes don't have the capability to see every single wavelength of light. That's how I knew these pages might have more to show than we thought. And from there, it was just a matter of finding the
We
right
both
chemical
saw.
for the
You
ink.
did great. I'm glad Rodney here chose to keep these dilapidated books, although before now I couldn't have guessed why he would.
It would appear that my propensity for hoarding has finally paid off.
Well, let's get to work.
Just call. I have to speak with him.
He's out right now. Can I take a message for you?
You're lying and I know it. Just listen.
You're making folks uncomfortable. I have to ask you to leave.
You don't get it. I have to... what are you doing? Unhand me. I have to see Asanaga.
What's all this commotion?
You are here.
You're alone. It seems strange that you would come here without Shun.
He's the subject I wanted us to talk about.
Please escort the young man to my office. Sorry, Emilio. I wish that holding you at gunpoint weren't necessary. But I'm not entirely convinced you didn't come here to kill me.
No, I didn't. although you have given me more than enough reason.
Well, then what do you want? What's important enough to make you take such a risk?
I have a question. What drove you to murder my father? Did he get in your way?
That was part of it, but it was far from my primary consideration. I could have left him alive easily if I'd cared to. But I wanted to kill him because he was unfit to be king.
What?
He was a small-minded creature of avarice, easy to persuade, and a tyrant. How many Zuzians could have avoided enslavement if they hadn't been captured by your father's military conquests? Did you not know? To be honest, I'd expected that once Delzine became king, Endor would see a few improvements.
You're lying.
If I recall, you said that he died protecting you.
One more question.
What is it?
Do you love your son, even though you never should have had him?
Yes, I do. What I said before was wrong. Shun is my son. Even if we share no blood, I raised him. I've loved him from the start. That's why you're alive, because killing you would upset Shun. And I need him. I need him to understand what I'm doing. Every last thing I've built here, I built for my family. I will not see it fractured. Shun is precious to me. He's my son, and nothing can replace him. Provided that you stay out of my way, I'll have no reason to harm you. But if you try something stupid, well...
So do you plan to sulk in here forever?
Well, no, but...
I went to your father's office and spoke with him.
You what? He almost killed you earlier. What the heck were you thinking? And what did you say to him?
I needed to confirm a few things.
What kind of things?
I asked him if he actually loves you, and he told me that he does indeed. He took back what he said before. He said, blood aside, you are his son. And that everything he's done, he did for you, for his family.
Yeah?
Look, when I wanted Delzine dead, you said I should speak with him.
Emilio.
But I had allowed myself to be blinded by an anger born of ignorance. I wasted my chance. Shun, do not make my mistake. You'll regret it. Go to Asanaga. Go to your father and talk. Hear what he has to say and make a choice. Don't think about my father. Don't worry about me. Decide what you want for yourself and go from there.
All right. If I don't go talk to him, then nothing will change. I can't stand the way that I feel right now, so... Thanks for the advice, Emilio.
I've done nothing worthy of gratitude.
Give yourself some credit.
I'm guessing you have news since you called us all here.
We've made a very significant discovery. I wanted to update everyone. Though El Shuia seems to be missing.
He's closed himself off in his room, doing something between meditation and a psychic ritual.
He asked us not to interrupt him, but I don't think he has food in there. Do you think he'll be okay?
He'll be fine. We just have to trust that he knows what he's doing. Anyway, what do you have for us?
All right. To put it plainly, we've discovered a new medium for travel between Endora and the surface. I think it extremely likely that this is what landed Shun here.
That building. It used to be where my dad worked. His whole business started with that little workshop. Way back then, he'd actually take me to work with him sometimes.
Sorry about that. The client had a lot of questions.
Don't worry about me. I know you only work this hard because you're gonna make things better for everybody, so...
You're a good boy, Shun. Ready to go? It's time. We've got another doctor's appointment.
Aw, could we skip just this once?
We can't if we want you to stay healthy, son.
Doesn't look like this place is still in use.
No. The equipment Dad was able to afford back then can't even compare to what he has in the tower now.
I see. But regardless, he's left this place intact. Makes me wonder if it doesn't hold some kind of sentimental value for him.
Shun, sorry to keep you waiting. I thought we'd be alone.
I assure you I won't interrupt, so feel free to pretend I'm not here. I only came to support Shun.
You don't look well, Shun. It was never my intention to cause you any pain.
I don't know what I'm supposed to think about any of this stuff. But I know I don't hate you. You annoy me sometimes. Like when you work straight through your own birthday, but I still can't accept that you're a killer. You were such a kind person. Why would you do this? Why would you destroy a country? '"
All right, fine. I'll explain.
That's...
It's called a Perrin Blue. They're the only objects I know of that allow transit between Endora and here. Your mother found them, the last traces of a culture far greater than our own.
Endora's creation is shrouded in myth. There are legends and fables which suggest that our world was fashioned deliberately by superior beings come from a far distant planet.
Yeah, I remember my parents telling stories like that back when I was little.
Apparently those makers left a few things behind. These were called Perrin Blue. They're quite rare, of course. When the link between Endora and the surface was severed, the majority of them were broken.
They bond to the hearts of their owners. To make use of one, you'd have to feed it a strong emotion. It seems that any would do. Anger, fear, even passionate curiosity. Given the appropriate stimuli, it takes the body and disassembles it into countless particles. Then it guides those particles across the...
Let's spare them the technicalities. The point is, if Shun came to Endora through the power of one of these devices, well, that gives us a pretty good idea of where he and Emilio vanished to.
So they're on the surface, but they can still come back, right?
As long as they've kept possession of the Perrin Blue, yes, it should be possible, although I can't really say that with certainty.
Hold on. If we're to believe that Shun had one of these Perrin Blue this whole time, then why's he never mentioned it? Wouldn't take him for the kind to keep a secret.
It's possible that he possessed it without knowing. My guess would be that the Perrin Blue's been inside of him.
You're saying that I have one in my chest?
The Perrin Blue you found in my office didn't just transport you to Endora. It bound itself to you. It can grant you passage between our worlds at any time. I've spent the majority of my adult life studying the ebb and flow of this world beneath our own. Through that work, I discovered something great. An energy source unique to Endora. More plentiful than anything the surface had.
Warp particles?
That's right. I realized that if I could harness them on the surface, I could improve the lives of millions. Exactly like we talked about when you were a child. When I went to Endora, I went with that purpose. To obtain warp particles for my people through whatever means were needed.
How is that enough to make killing okay?
This was hardly the first time that a contest over resources ended in bloodshed. Wars have been fought over things far less valuable. Just look at what we've achieved. The siphoning of Endora's warp particles is one of the main factors that have allowed this nation to prosper as it has, Shun. I haven't hoarded this power. I've given it almost freely. As a result, the specter of pollution is on the decline. Our production is up. The average person here lives well. These are good things, son. You think the loss of one life compares? How? Even if it destroys their whole country. Once I can scale what I've done here to the rest of our world, it will have been for the greater good.
Dad.
I'll never regret what I've done, because that's what it took to save you. Your Endra father gave you to me because you were sick from a pandemic that was untreatable in Endora.
Yeah, I heard. If you hadn't taken me to a hospital up here, I probably wouldn't be alive.
It took money to pay for those treatments. Even after they'd officially cured you, your body was still so weak. You were in the hospital as often as you weren't.
And I'm grateful.
If it weren't for the massively successful work I've done with warp particles, I never could have paid those bills. I did what I had to, and you're still here.
What about Endora?
Shun, you're too kind a person for your own good. There's no point in lamenting what's as good as done. Endora will soon die, forget it. Its warp particles are nearly depleted. It won't be long before there are too few remaining, and the world in its current form won't be sustainable. For all practical purposes, you could pretend that it never existed.
Hey, wait a sec!
What is it?
You're acting like this is inevitable. But that isn't true. You're the one doing this, aren't you?
I am.
Well, then put an end to it!
What are you talking about? I could never stop.
And why not?
Because of everything I've told you. Warp particles have enabled me to perform near miracles on the surface. Why would I stop the work that's improved millions of people's lives?
It's like the people of Endora don't even really count as human beings in your mind.
Yes, that's right. Endora served to advance humanity by leaps and bounds. It's a good cause. And when I'm gone, you will ensure that its legacy endures. But we have nothing to worry about. Before our supply runs out, I'll have perfected a system that will allow warp particles to replicate even on the surface. After Endora has collapsed, we'll still be able to mine it for a few years. Ample time.
I won't let you.
What's that?
If you think conveniences are worth people's lives, then you've lost your mind.
You weren't in Endora that long. Have you really grown so attached? I suppose it's natural to love the place where you were born. It's hard to admit, but in the end, it would seem that you do belong in Endora. I can't let anyone hold me back, not even you, son. So if you won't work with me, then at the very least get out of my way. I would like to avoid having to kill you.
Enough, Matsunaga! You bastard!
Emilio! I'm sorry, are you okay?
I would never shoot you, Shun. You're my darling boy.
You don't have to do this, Dad.
Are you the reason why my son is turned against me? How annoying. Just when everything was perfect. If you hadn't shown up and poisoned him with your friendship, he would be laughing at my side.
Hell, he would have.
Given the circumstances, I'd recommend that you keep your mouth shut tight. You're a nuisance. You ruined him. You've destroyed my family.
Leave him alone!
Shun? I'm such a fool. I did all of these things out of love, but I hurt him. I think some part of me knew this would happen. Well, there's no point letting it get cold.
Hey, Shun. Makiko worked hard on this meal. You should eat it.
Thanks. If that's all you came for, then get out.
I'll be happy to leave just as soon as I see you finish your meal.
Emilio,
What's up?
that's funny. I could never understand why you wanted to kill Delzine. I knew you were mad, but the idea of hating the man who raised you enough to kill him, it seems so horrible. I get it now, though. Not that my father's the monster. I know exactly how you felt. Knowing all the things he's done, the lies he's told, it's screwing with my head. I'm not any different.
You are different.
Yeah, how?
Stop thinking about it and eat. Your mother is an exceptional cook. She puts the best chefs in my castle to shame.
That from Kitoro?
Yeah. A basic field report. Complete with a list of complaints about his new comrades.
Well, I suppose that's to be expected. With any luck, they'll learn to get along eventually.
Huh, we can hope. He said they'd found Abelda's trail. They're closing in on him.
That's so.
Demetrio! Hey! We've got news!
I think we figured out what happened to Shun and Emilio.
Let's hear it.
We're pretty sure the only place they could have ended up is in the castle's dungeon.
You sure?
Yeah, talked to one of the guards. He saw them heading that way before they disappeared. And there's no one in the castle who's seen either of them since.
I think Shun said the dungeons are where he first showed up when he came here.
Let's have the men take another look down there.
Right.
I'll see if I can help, too.
Good, thanks.
Demetrio,
What is it?
with your leave, there's something I'd like to look into alone. It pertains to the end of the world.
What do you mean?
I had another vision this morning, much like the one that came to me near Babel.
Still think it has to do with the disappearance of warp particles?
Yes. I confess I've been afraid. I've yet to truly push my ability to its fullest potential. But the end is coming, whether I look or not. Something has caused this imbalance, and I have to find out what.
The letters are starting to show again.
I thought this might work. Excellent thinking, Joseph.
Thanks, sir. But I can actually trace this idea back to you. After all, it was your thesis that our eyes don't have the capability to see every single wavelength of light. That's how I knew these pages might have more to show than we thought. And from there, it was just a matter of finding the
We
right
both
chemical
saw.
for the
You
ink.
did great. I'm glad Rodney here chose to keep these dilapidated books, although before now I couldn't have guessed why he would.
It would appear that my propensity for hoarding has finally paid off.
Well, let's get to work.
Just call. I have to speak with him.
He's out right now. Can I take a message for you?
You're lying and I know it. Just listen.
You're making folks uncomfortable. I have to ask you to leave.
You don't get it. I have to... what are you doing? Unhand me. I have to see Asanaga.
What's all this commotion?
You are here.
You're alone. It seems strange that you would come here without Shun.
He's the subject I wanted us to talk about.
Please escort the young man to my office. Sorry, Emilio. I wish that holding you at gunpoint weren't necessary. But I'm not entirely convinced you didn't come here to kill me.
No, I didn't. Although you have given me more than enough reason.
Well, then what do you want? What's important enough to make you take such a risk?
I have a question. What drove you to murder my father? Did he get in your way?
That was part of it, but it was far from my primary consideration. I could have left him alive easily if I'd cared to. But I wanted to kill him because he was unfit to be king.
What?
He was a small-minded creature of avarice, easy to persuade, and a tyrant. How many Zuzians could have avoided enslavement if they hadn't been captured by your father's military conquests? Did you not know? To be honest, I'd expected that once Delzine became king, Endor would see a few improvements. You're lying. If I recall, you said that he died protecting you.
One more question.
What is it?
Do you love your son, even though you never should have had him?
Yes, I do. What I said before was wrong. Shun is my son. Even if we share no blood, I raised him. I've loved him from the start. That's why you're alive, because killing you would upset Shun. And I need him. I need him to understand what I'm doing. Every last thing I've built here, I built for my family. I will not see it fractured. Shun is precious to me. He's my son, and nothing can replace him. Provided that you stay out of my way, I'll have no reason to harm you. But if you try something stupid, well...
So do you plan to sulk in here forever?
Well, no, but...
I went to your father's office and spoke with him.
You what? He almost killed you earlier. What the heck were you thinking? What did you say to him?
I needed to confirm a few things.
What kind of things?
I asked him if he actually loves you, and he told me that he does indeed. He took back what he said before. He said, blood aside, you are his son. And that everything he's done, he did for you, for his family.
Yeah?
Look, when I wanted Delzine dead, you said I should speak with him.
Emilio.
But I had allowed myself to be blinded by an anger born of ignorance. I wasted my chance. Shun, do not make my mistake. You'll regret it. Go to Asanaga. Go to your father and talk. Hear what he has to say and make a choice. Don't think about my father. Don't worry about me. Decide what you want for yourself and go from there.
All right. If I don't go talk to him, then nothing will change. I can't stand the way that I feel right now, so... Thanks for the advice, Emilio.
You've done nothing worthy of gratitude.
Give yourself some credit.
I'm guessing you have news since you called us all here.
We've made a very significant discovery. I wanted to update everyone. Though El Shuia seems to be missing.
He's closed himself off in his room, doing something between meditation and a psychic ritual.
He asked us not to interrupt him, but I don't think he has food in there. Do you think he'll be okay?
He'll be fine. We just have to trust that he knows what he's doing. Anyway, what do you have for us?
Oh, right. To put it plainly, we've discovered a new medium for travel between Endora and the surface. I think it extremely likely that this is what landed Shun here.
That building. It used to be where my dad worked. His whole business started with that little workshop. Way back then, he'd actually take me to work with him sometimes.
Sorry about that. The client had a lot of questions.
Don't worry about me. I know you only work this hard because you're going to make things better for everybody, so...
You're a good boy, Shun. Ready to go? It's time. We've got another doctor's appointment.
Aw, could we skip just this once?
We can't if we want you to stay healthy, son.
Doesn't look like this place is still in use.
No. The equipment Dad was able to afford back then can't even compare to what he has in the tower now.
I see. But regardless, he's left this place intact. Makes me wonder if it doesn't hold some kind of sentimental value for him.
Shun, sorry to keep you waiting. I thought we'd be alone.
I assure you I won't interrupt, so feel free to pretend I'm not here. I only came to support Shun.
You don't look well, Shun. It was never my intention to cause you any pain.
I don't know what I'm supposed to think about any of this stuff. But I know I don't hate you. You annoy me sometimes. Like when you work straight through your own birthday, but I still can't accept that you're a killer. You were such a kind person. Why would you do this? Why would you destroy a country?
All right, fine. I'll explain.
Wait, that's...
It's called a Perrin Blue. They're the only objects I know of that allow transit between Endora and here. Your mother found them, the last traces of a culture far greater than our own.
Endora's creation is shrouded in myth. There are legends and fables which suggest that our world was fashioned deliberately by superior beings come from a far distant planet.
Yeah, I remember my parents telling stories like that back when I was little.
Apparently those makers left a few things behind. These were called Perrin Blue. They're quite rare, of course. When the link between Endora and the surface was severed, the majority of them were broken.
They bond to the hearts of their owners. To make use of one, you'd have to feed it a strong emotion. It seems that any would do. Anger, fear, even passionate curiosity. Given the appropriate stimuli, it takes the body and disassembles it into countless particles. Then it guides those particles across the...
Let's spare them the technicalities. The point is, if Shun came to Endora through the power of one of these devices, well, that gives us a pretty good idea of where he and Emilio vanished to.
So they're on the surface, but they can still come back, right?
As long as they've kept possession of the Perrin Blue, yes, it should be possible, although I can't really say that with certainty.
Hold on. If we're to believe that Shun had one of these Perrin Blue this whole time, then why's he never mentioned it? It wouldn't take him for the kind to keep a secret.
It's possible that he possessed it without knowing. My guess would be that the Perrin Blue's been inside of him.
You're saying that I have one in my chest?
The Perrin Blue you found in my office didn't just transport you to Endora. It bound itself to you. It can grant you passage between our worlds at any time. I've spent the majority of my adult life studying the ebb and flow of this world beneath our own. Through that work, I discovered something great. An energy source unique to Endora, more plentiful than anything the surface had.
Warp particles?
That's right. I realized that if I could harness them on the surface, I could improve the lives of millions, exactly like we talked about when you were a child. When I went to Endora, I went with that purpose, to obtain warp particles for my people through whatever means were needed.
How is that enough to make killing okay?
This was hardly the first time that a contest over resources ended in bloodshed. Wars have been fought over things far less valuable. Just look at what we've achieved. The siphoning of Endora's warp particles is one of the main factors that have allowed this nation to prosper as it has, Shun. I haven't hoarded this power. I've given it almost freely. As a result, the specter of pollution is on the decline. Our production is up. The average person here lives well. These are good things, son. You think the loss of one life compares? How? Even if it destroys their whole country. Once I can scale what I've done here to the rest of our world, it will have been for the greater good.
Dad.
I'll never regret what I've done, because that's what it took to save you. Your Endra father gave you to me because you were sick from a pandemic that was untreatable in Endora.
Yeah, I heard. If you hadn't taken me to a hospital up here, I probably wouldn't be alive.
It took money to pay for those treatments. Even after they'd officially cured you, your body was still so weak. You were in the hospital as often as you weren't.
And I'm grateful.
If it weren't for the massively successful work I've done with warp particles, I never could have paid those bills. I did what I had to, and you're still here.
What about Endora?
Shun, you're too kind a person for your own good. There's no point in lamenting what's as good as done. Endora will soon die, forget it. Its warp particles are nearly depleted. It won't be long before there are too few remaining, and the world in its current form won't be sustainable. For all practical purposes, you could pretend that it never existed.
Hey, wait a sec!
What is it?
You're acting like this is inevitable. But that isn't true. You're the one doing this, aren't you?
I am.
Well, then put an end to it!
What are you talking about? I could never stop.
And why not?
Because of everything I've told you. Warp particles have enabled me to perform near miracles on the surface. Why would I stop the work that's improved millions of people's lives?
It's like the people of Endora don't even really count as human beings in your mind.
Yes, that's right. Endora served to advance humanity by leaps and bounds. It's a good cause. And when I'm gone, you will ensure that its legacy endures. But we have nothing to worry about. Before our supply runs out, I'll have perfected a system that will allow warp particles to replicate even on the surface. After Endora has collapsed, we'll still be able to mine it for a few years. Ample time.
I won't let you.
What's that?
If you think conveniences are worth people's lives, then you've lost your mind.
You weren't in Endora that long. Have you really grown so attached? I suppose it's natural to love the place where you were born. It's hard to admit, but in the end, it would seem that you do belong in Endora. I can't let anyone hold me back, not even you, son. So if you won't work with me, then at the very least get out of my way. I would like to avoid having to kill you.
Enough, Matsunaga! You bastard!
Emilio! I'm sorry, are you okay?
I would never shoot you, Shun. You're my darling boy.
You don't have to do this, Dad.
Are you the reason why my son is turned against me? How annoying. Just when everything was perfect. If you hadn't shown up and poisoned him with your friendship, he would be laughing at my side.
Hell, he would have.
Given the circumstances, I'd recommend that you keep your mouth shut tight. You're a nuisance. You ruined him. You've destroyed my family.
Leave him alone!
battle at hand.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Shun.
Huh? What are you getting at?
We finally managed to get back to the surface, but now we landed in Endor all over again.
You just consider my feelings? I'll be damned! To be honest, I'm not all that worried about it. I mean, as long as I've got Dad's crystal with me, I can come and go as I please.
Maybe, but if I were you, I wouldn't get my hopes up until I'd worked out how to activate that thing at will.
Dude, you're a killjoy. I'm sure I can figure it out. I just need to practice a little.
What's this? We're reunited at last and you completely ignore me? Pay attention so I can drink the fear from your eyes while I kill you.
You'll get yours, but the more you interrupt us, the longer you're gonna have to wait for it.
What?
You heard me. The world doesn't revolve around you, so deal with it. Now wait your turn.
Stupid brat!
Not too bad for a rookie.
Forget them. I'm the foe who should concern you.
Your blood is useless, and I've already proved you can't stop me, so get out of my way!
You've grown into an abomination, a blight that must be purged from this world. By me!
I don't have time to listen to you rant. I have plans, and they're with those Endra brats behind you. They're the ones I want.
Let's go!
I'm gonna make damn sure you die this time, Yitoro.
You said you wanted me at Shun, right?
Huh?
Well, good, because here we come!
Sounds like they got it.
About time we took him out. What's up?
Something isn't right.
Whoa. What's happening to him? Did we do that?
Hold on. What's that? What's going on?
Almost there. Just a little further.
He's in pain.
Leave him be.
I can't.
If you break his concentration now, he'll have suffered for nothing.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Elshuia knows what he's doing.
Demetrio.
Connecting your spirit to the pain of the world is no pleasant task, especially if the world in question is being slowly bled of its life force.
Then why don't we stop him? If he keeps this up, who knows what'll happen? You heard the screams. Aren't you worried?
Of course I am, but this was his choice to make. We have comrades throughout the continent risking their lives to protect Endor. Elshuia has every right to do the same.
Is he belted somewhere in there still, or is that dark stuff all that's left? And why is there so much of it?
What are you asking that for? We should focus on finding a way to kill it.
Do you have any bright ideas?
Watch out!
Nice shot. Thanks.
I thought you cut him down. What happened?
Yeah, it didn't quite work.
Be cautious. He isn't just bigger. Any vestige of sanity he had left is likely gone. He'll be completely unpredictable now.
That sounds about right.
I can handle myself. Stop protecting me. Look, this isn't about you. I won't go easy on this monster just to soothe your ego.
Misha, wait! Above you!
Are they okay?
How did I... Oh no! Felix! You fiend! to do that. It's like I said before. I didn't do it to save you.
Where are the men I sent with you?
They had wounded and casualties, so I sent them back to the castle.
I see. We're no match for this thing as we are. We have wounded ourselves. We should fall back too.
I think you're right.
I am the seer, El Shuia. I would commune with the spirit of Endor's depths. I beg for your counsel, so that I might help preserve you. Please, let your voice be heard, and your pain be shared. Warp particles. Is this?
That's it, I'm going in.
Hey, Alicia, wait!
Oh no, what happened?
El Shuia,
Demetria, you're here.
We heard you fall. Are you hurt?
did you learn anything?
Yes, I called to the spirit of Endora, and my call was answered. It showed me where the warp particles have been taken.
Tell us what needs to be done.
I'm sorry. All I can tell you is the name. It's called Tir Nanog. Go.
We'll handle it. You rest.
Well, Doctor, how is he?
He's about as exhausted as I've ever seen. And the only cure for that is rest.
Demetrio, can I borrow you for a moment? I've confirmed the information El Shuia gave us. The warp particles aren't just disappearing. They're converging at a single point. They wouldn't do this on their own. Something's pulling them in. We can't be sure exactly what that something is, but thanks to him, we know exactly where we have to go to find it.
Do we really have no idea what to look for? A creature? A machine?
This thing can draw in warp particles from across the continent. I can't imagine anything alive with that kind of power. I would wager it's some kind of a man-made device, a construct like Babel, perhaps.
Well, the spot circled on the map is in the middle of the Great Sea. I doubt something like this would just be floating, but I don't see any islands either.
Fair point. It isn't possible to build that far out at sea. Not for us. But this construct wasn't made by us. It was them.
Hold on. What do you mean by them?
The beings of Tir Nanog.
That's my theory. There is said to be an ancient ruin in the sea, a heavenly place, far beyond the reach of mortals. I don't know if they were men or not, but someone made the pyramid, and their civilization was far more advanced than ours.
I've heard the same stories as you. They seemed far-fetched.
There are those who have the same doubts about tales of the surface. It's hard to believe without seeing.
So we don't actually know what's going on, right? There's a chance that warp particles just group up every few thousand years. It might all sort itself out.
There's no use talking about it. Let's find Tir Nanog.
If it's real.
I wouldn't consider myself convinced either. I've heard nothing to prove that this mystical ruin is actually out there.
El Shuia's word is all the proof I need.
I understand, but...
I'd bet money that those ruins are real, if I had any.
Hey!
Emilio! Oh, thank goodness. How have you been? Are you okay?
We're fine.
Yeah, it's the others we need to worry about.
Huh?
Felix. Louise. Apologies. I should not have let this happen.
So, how bad are they?
Their lives aren't in danger, but...
Gotcha. What about Demetrio?
Well, he tries to stay strong for everyone else.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
The two of you did well to get back in so little time.
I'm sorry for worrying you.
Worry is an understatement. I was completely freaked out. Where did you two end up this time?
I finally got to go home. He just played tourist.
Guess that means Pascal was right.
Yes, I knew it! It had to be the surface. There was no better explanation for your disappearance.
Sorry if this breaks the flow of conversation, but I wanted to ask you about what you said earlier, Shun. Are you sure that it's all true?
I said what? I really don't remember.
That there's an ancient ruin in the sea we should be looking for?
Oh, that. All I know for sure is that there's some kind of science thing he's sucking up warp particles. Honestly, it might be anything. But yeah, it could be in the sea.
And you found this out on the surface? How?
Is that where they're being sent?
About that.
Shun, you don't have to...
It's fine. They deserve to know. Your warp particles are being stolen on purpose, and we know who's doing it. Because he's my father.
Keep up the pace. Ibelda's much stronger now, and he could attack at any moment. This work has to be done before dawn. Work hard and fast. If he reaches the castle, we're lost.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm sure that everyone was. It's a crazy story. I can't believe that Delzine is actually Shun's real father. So you're saying his real father is the man who raised you, and the man who raised him is the one who killed your real father? It's so confusing. You leave tomorrow, right? For Tiernanog?
Shun's father will steal everything our world has if he gets the chance. He must be stopped.
I'm going too.
Listen, Alicia.
Relax, okay? I was only joking. You bought it, though. Thought it over, and I'm pretty sure I can do more good here than out there. Endor is in pretty bad shape right now, and sometimes I feel kind of helpless. I mean, what's the point in trying when you're too weak to make a difference? But I'm not weak, and there's something out there that only I can do. I'm sure of it. So I won't follow you. Just promise me that you'll come back safe, okay?
I promise.
If you break it, I'll kill you.
Noted.
Hey! Let's talk more shoveling, okay?
Okay! Valerion. Hello, Father.
All right then. Good luck, and fly fast.
Just leave it to us, okay?
I trust you'll defend the castle.
Right.
Take care, Dad. Please protect my friends. I'll be waiting for you.
Well, are we ready to go then?
I think so. Valerion, let's go!
What was that? Trajectory's good. It's right on course.
He's growing.
So this is what's become of Ibelda.
I wouldn't wish such a fate on any foe.
Everyone take your positions. We can't let him get to the castle.
Joseph? Sir, let's do this, guys. Remember, it's just like we practiced.
Right. Take your places in the forest. I can smell the rot from here. A loathsome creature.
I don't get it. How does he manage to keep growing like this?
There's your chance. Get moving.
Valerion!
That's a trap.
Didn't really have time to hide the thing. We're lucky he lost his wits.
Valerion, hang in there!
We're not gonna fall. We're not gonna fall.
You're gonna fall!
Any idea how to cut them loose?
You should be careful when you deploy it, but I think it'll come in handy.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, we should go. We'll bring Pascal back.
Good. We're counting on you. I'm ready to put this guy down for good.
No. Let me. I want to end this.
It'll be okay. Pascal wouldn't die that easily. You know that.
Yeah.
It's like we're losing everyone.
No one's lost yet.
You're awake!
Don't cry. Let's pray for everyone's safety instead.
Right.
I never thought my dad would be the last boss.
Sorry, what?
He's like the king of all the bad guys. The mega villain.
Villain or not, getting revenge against your father for the death of mine isn't what I'm after now. The only thing that matters is stopping the device that's draining the warp particles.
Yeah, you're right. That's where our focus should be for now. That must be it.
Yeah.
Pascal! Where are you? Ah!
Whoa! Are you okay? Maybe we should slow down.
I'm fine, let's go. He can't be gone. Not when there are still so many things I need to learn. So much knowledge only he can pass on. Not just to me. Pascal is an invaluable treasure to all of Endora, one we can't afford to lose. We have to find him. He's still alive. I know he is. He can't be dead. It would take more than a fall to bring down a man like him. We've got to bring him back.
We will, Joseph. We'll find him and bring him back. Now, let's go. All right.
Aaron!
There's no end to it. We have to stop him. We can't let a monster like that loose in the world. Right. Misha!
Damn you! I'm gonna make you pay.
Hold on. Hitting him from the front won't work. We're taking a lot more damage than he is.
So what now? What should we do?
Listen up. I think I have a plan.
Felix.
Thank goodness.
Where's Misha?
Misha's all right. She went with Demetrio and the others to keep fighting at Belta.
Okay. That's where I should be.
You were badly injured. You don't need to go anywhere.
I must. If Demetrio's fighting, I should be at his side. That's why I'm here. It's all I'm good for. I'd be dead if it weren't for Demetrio, so I've sworn my life to protecting his. If I can't be there for him now, I have no purpose anymore.
Your body needs time to rest and heal. You could get hurt even worse. Please, Felix, you're not ready.
Let me go.
Don't yell at the girl, Felix. She's right and you know it. With injuries like those, you won't do anything but slow them down.
Misha told me about what happened. She said you and Louise risked your lives to protect her from Abelda.
Yeah, doesn't seem like such a great idea in hindsight.
Louise, you too.
Whether we deserve it or not, our lives matter to people. We shouldn't throw them away. Neither of us.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry.
Sure.
And Louise, thank you.
Well, now that you've decided to stay put, I have a very special medicine that should help you recover. The recipe has been in my family for years.
Oh, do you mean that strange liquid you were heating earlier?
Yes?
It smelled like you were boiling socks. You drank that stuff?
Of course. In fact, I had some earlier. That's the reason I made such a speedy recovery.
Oh, really?
I don't need any. Louise can have it all.
You're drinking it too. Bottoms up.
As a thank you for saving me, I'll let you have my share.
Okay, now you're just making things up. I don't need your thanks. I never even saved you.
Sure you did.
I did not. No, you...
Looks even more enormous up close.
Can you take us higher?
This is really something else. I've never seen anything this strange before.
I read fairy tales about this place when I was a child. These ancient ruins of the dwelling place of an omnipotent god. Or so the tales say, anyhow.
Looks like something from a fairy tale.
I still can't believe it actually exists.
This is it. It's here, Nanak. It's crazy. Like something right out of a sci-fi movie.
Sci-fi?
You know, science fiction. What am I saying? Of course you don't know.
Why don't you explain it?
You think that's really the best use of our time right now?
Are you mocking me?
Seriously. You've got some anger issues.
What was that?
So I guess we just smashed this thing up.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Right. And now!
A scratch.
Damn.
Can't even dent it. Come on, get back to work.
Hey, I am working, just not with my arms. I'm using my brain.
Oh, yeah?
The key is gem cleavage.
Did you say cleavage?
Crystals have a tendency to split along distinct planes. The key to breaking one is knowing the right angle to come at it from.
And you know what that is?
I think I do. Here, jab at it from straight above. Like that. My superior intellect saves the day.
So you're not totally useless after all. Nice.
You know, if we destroy this device, we'll be heroes. People might name babies after us.
You're kidding.
We are basically saving the world.
Maybe so, but I don't deserve that title. I'm no one's hero.
Stop already. I mean it. You have a decision to make. You know what you should do.
What decision?
Whether or not you're gonna become king of Endora. Things aren't likely to get better in Endor until they've got a king in charge. People need a leader.
I'm aware of that. I just don't know if I can be the king they deserve. But for right now, what I can do is destroy this device.
Then let's do it.
My dad. Shoot, enough of this. Haven't you guessed? You aren't the only one with the parent blue shoe. There's one inside of me as well. You and your friend might as well give up. That crystal is a special device I constructed inside of Tirna Nog. I will not allow you to destroy it.
I don't care how special that thing is to you. It's destroying an entire world.
Perrin Blue and Tirna Nog. No one knew. Nobody on Endora or the surface understood how to make use of them properly until I came along. Everybody else was blind. I saw their potential. Our world on the surface would be a much different place if not for that. Must I explain it to you again? Warp particles are a valuable resource to the surface world. One we cannot afford to sacrifice, no matter what.
Yeah, you've said that, and honestly, I get where you're coming from. But that doesn't mean I agree with you.
Would you have said that a week ago? Back before you knew that you were actually born in Endra? I understand why you would feel that way. It's only natural. But listen to me, Shu. Your mother and I raised you as our son. You have never been anything less than that to us. Do you understand? No matter where you were born, you're still our son.
And you're my parents. Nothing will change that.
Then your decision should be clear. Come, we'll go back to the surface together and you'll work by my side.
My decision is clear. Because I already made it. I won't let you sacrifice Endor for the good of the surface. You know what? Try thinking about it as a father instead of a scientist. You must have come here a lot using your parent blue, so you saw for yourself that this is a real world full of real people. Every last one of them, Zuzian or Endra, is someone's son or daughter. And you're talking about killing them all! I don't get how you can even consider it!
Shun, I'll give you one last chance. Will you side with your father as a son should, or not?
Shun.
We need to create some sort of a distraction to draw his attention away. Then we can use this baby to blow his head off. Idoro, let me do it. All right. We only get one shot, so make it count, okay?
Right. Failure's not an option for any of us.
Let's go! Good! Do it now! Say your prayers, Imelda. It's over for you!
It's over for me, huh? If you haven't noticed, it's over for all of us. Our whole world is being annihilated. I don't even understand what it is you're fighting so hard to protect.
Endora, there's still a chance that it could survive.
Such an optimist. After all that's happened, I can't believe you still have hope for the future of this crumbling world.
Yes, I do. I have hope. However, I also have something even more important than that.
Oh, yeah? And what would that be?
You said something to me before. That you didn't think of the truculent as your comrades.
And?
I thought it over and decided that I agree with you.
I knew it.
You were right about the truculent. But now I finally know what it means to have true comrades.
Thank you, friend.
Did that sound like an explosion to you?
Yeah, Demetrio must have used that bomb you gave him.
Good. Nobody could stand a chance against one of those explosives. Thank goodness. Pascal saved the day again. Okay, let's go. We have to find him and give him the good news.
Joseph, is that...
It's one of Pascal's shoes.
So, he could be nearby.
Are you there, Pascal? Pascal! Pascal!
Okay. Thanks a lot.
What did it say?
Was it from Demetrio?
Looks like they defeated Ibelda.
Really?
Thank goodness.
Our people, is everyone safe?
Not everyone.
Dad, I'm sorry. No, this isn't something I can side with you on.
I see. That's very unfortunate.
Impossible. What the hell? Is that thing...
That's right. You're looking at my warp relic.
You can't have a warp relic.
You're a human. I have your dad to thank. That's right, Emilio. Good old Alcer may be dead, but that doesn't mean he's gone completely. What? He lives on in me. Well, part of him does anyway.
Bastard! Killing him wasn't bad enough. You had to do this too?
You didn't! Dad, no!
No! Valeria! Enough!
Please, Dad, stop this!
I don't think so. Of Endora to live. I could have dealt with you on the day you stumbled into my office. Just like I dealt with your father.
You bastard!
Oh. So your warp relic evolved.
That's twice now.
How ironic. The depth of your hatred for me has given strength to your warp relic. Hardly surprising, though.
You're wrong about that. I'll readily admit that hatred drove me to fight for most of my life. There was a time when it was all that drove me to live. But that time has passed. Because now I fight for the people I care for. And to protect the world that I call my home. That's what gives me strength.
Did he just give a heroic monologue?
It doesn't seem to have given you that much strength.
More than you'll ever have.
Leave it be!
It seems yours has evolved as well.
I've been pretty ignorant up until now, Dad. About you, about the world underneath my feet, about who I am and where I belong. Part of me was happy not knowing. I learned anyway, and I'm glad I did. And now that I've seen the truth, I'll never let myself forget!
Pascal! Can you hear us? If you're out there, please, you gotta say something!
I'm here! It's about time you boys showed up.
I really made it! Were you injured at all? Can you move?
Yeah, once I get down from here. You know, Rodney made fun of me when I told him about the parachute sewn into the back of my jacket. Who's laughing now, though?
Thank goodness. I knew you'd be fine. Yeah, Joseph was pretty worried about you. You should have seen him.
Sorry for the scare, kid.
Don't be. You were heroic.
I wonder how things have been going for Shun and Emilio.
You okay?
Shun, look, Dad. What you're doing is clearly wrong.
You're still ignorant, Shun. I only sought power because I wished to build a better life for you and your mother. Even in this moment, that's my only desire. No one recognized the value of my research. It would have ended where it began, in that tiny workshop I could barely afford. Instead, I've been able to build one of the most prominent companies in the world.
All by stealing warp particles?
Yes. As I've explained, if it weren't for that, my work never would have gained the esteem and respect it deserved.
Kinda sounds like what you really cared about was getting famous.
You're wrong. I could care less what the world thinks. All I want is for you and your mother to be happy.
Well, you screwed up. His mom could never be happy with what you've done.
You ungrateful brat!
Please listen.
There's nothing more to be said. Goodbye.
He's our little treasure. Ours.
Let him go!
Dad!
Are you...
Shun. It's alright. Dude, You had to. You saved my life.
You were injured.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay.
Try to use your parent blue!
I can't!
Then drop me! Let go! You can live!
I won't go back! Without you!
There's no way!
Then we'll find one!
Valeria!
Oh, that was scary.
Over there! It took you long enough. Welcome back.
They pulled it off.
So did you end up fighting Tiernanog or what? You're both injured. Is it bad?
I barely even took a scratch, but his highness could keel over any second.
You're barely conscious.
Chill, you'll hurt yourself.
Shut up!
Cut it out, you two!
Hey, what's with you punks? You've gone and made her cry.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I blame him.
Could you please stop fighting for a minute?
I'm just so grateful that both of you made it back safe, you know? You too, Valerian.
Good to see you, boys.
Pascal, you're all right. I knew you'd pull through.
Sweet. Warp particles are back on the rise. And I suspect that this is thanks to you.
We couldn't have done it if not for your help.
Wow. I don't feel like these devices can be replicated, sir.
They're beyond complex. We'll not see Tirnanog, Babel, or the Perrin Blue again. You'd need Dr. Asanaga's talent and the technology of the surface to reproduce such marvels. And to be perfectly honest, we don't have either. Although the more ambitious side of me would like to take a crack at it.
Is something wrong?
I think we'd better leave it be. If there's one thing I've learned from this, it's that our ancestors' warnings about the surface were right. And this line of work would only bring us closer to it.
That is true.
I think we'll be far better off focusing our energies on warp particle research. The more we can discover on that front, the brighter we can make Andora's future.
Agreed.
Well, in that case, I suppose I'd better let you get to it.
Sir, are you sure you don't want to stay and get back into research?
I'm good. I'd rather need bread in my own bakery than struggle through some hunger-sold book any day. No, thank you.
I understand.
You know, I wonder what Shun's planning to do now. I mean, he did come from Endora, but his life was on the surface.
Fine night, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll say.
It's thanks to you we can enjoy it. So well done.
I only did my part to protect the country.
Well then, those the words of an aspiring king?
I still don't know about that. But regardless, I do feel that I owe you my thanks. You and the Ignots helped me understand more than I can express. I was blind to everything but my own rage until you taught me about this country and its people, about fighting for something more than myself. And through this, I learned how I want to live my life. So please accept my thanks.
How to live your life. That's a lot to know for sure.
At any rate, I'm getting much closer.
Fair enough. But you know, me and the Ignots aren't the only people who deserve a little gratitude.
You're right, Demetrio. I could use some appreciation. Go ahead and spit it out, Emilio. I'm ready.
We finished making dinner, so come on in.
Now we're talking. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed a proper meal. Will there be drinks?
There might be, but Louise says that you have no business drinking so much.
Oh, come on. We're celebrating.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Alicia.
Yeah? What's up?
Valerian, or your father, saved my and Shun's lives. So thank you both. Also, I know how much I've worried you lately. I'm sorry. I don't get it. How did I upset her this time?
It takes a sensitive nature to understand these things. There's no point explaining to you.
That's your way of saying you don't know either.
Oh, yeah? And how do you know that?
Because you're an idiot.
Tonight, we've gathered to celebrate our victories with a feast. We've all fought for this moment, none without sacrifice. But there are two among us deserving of a special mention, Emilio and Shun. Let us applaud their bravery. Their efforts have allowed us to avert a major crisis, but our work is not done. Until the kingdom of Andorra is restored, it will fall to the Ignots to keep the peace. Gradito, I ask you to use your island as a base from which to oversee the north.
Sure, you can leave it to me.
Ralph, give your assistance to Gradito, and keep in touch with us.
Right. I'll follow your lead, sir.
Felix, Louise, you're off the hook until you're healed from your wounds.
Thanks.
I'm already healed,
Then why do you have those bandages on?
so I'm mostly healed.
If you force yourself to move around before you're ready to, you'll heal even slower.
And you'll keep making her worry. Have a heart.
Fine, I'll rest more.
Eljuia, Misha, the two of you will work beside Pascal, Joseph, and Aaron to rebuild and restore the royal castle.
Very well.
It shall be done.
Just leave it to us.
I look forward to having all these young ones pull my weight for me.
Emilio, Shun, I'd like for the two of you to join me in overseeing the lands to the south.
Understood, sir.
We're with you.
Well, if all that's settled, let's kick back and enjoy the feast.
Eat this.
I'm fine.
Improve it by eating it.
Oh, hey, since when have you liked our food? I know firsthand it can't compare to the cuisine of the surface.
Wait a sec, you really had food on the surface? Come on then, tell us how they cook there.
Well, they serve their fish on little white mounds.
Mounds of what? Is it tasty?
Yeah,
Hey, where are you going, Shun?
Oh, I just want to go outside for a bit of fresh air.
Something wrong?
Emilio,
That's a pretty weak excuse you gave.
Come on. Sometimes a guy just wants some fresh air.
Sometimes. Like when deciding what he's going to do next.
I have decided. You know, I really do like Endora. Made a lot of friends here. But even so, I just can't stay. That'd mean leaving my mother alone.
I see.
You get it. The surface is where I belong.
Yeah.
So what are you planning to do?
Don't know. I want to protect Endora's people, but there are a lot of things I'd like to do before that.
Well, you sound resolute.
Shut up.
Make a damn choice.
Oh, you're one to talk.
I make decisions without thinking twice, dude.
That's precisely my point. I don't suppose I'll be seeing you for a while.
Yeah, guess not.
Do you think you'll talk about Endora?
Probably a bad idea. I mean, most people would just think I was crazy or a liar. Plus, if I did tell, I'd have to mention my super crabby companion. I still don't know if I should refer to you as Prince Priss or the man who became king.
I hate you.
Well, I'm heading out.
But you haven't said goodbye to the others.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that sort of thing. Do me a favor and tell Demetrio I'm sorry I didn't help out, will you?
Yeah, sure.
I went through hell and back, but to be honest, I don't think I could have asked for a better adventure.
That adventure would have failed if it weren't for you.
About time I got some respect.
Well, Shun?
Till next time?
Yeah. Be careful.
Give Alicia a kiss for me, okay?